Hey everybody, what's going on? Rob Cesternino here, and we have a treat for you today because that we have a very special Survivor simulation, another one of our BrantSteele specials to run through today. And we are going to be talking about a cast of Survivor based on the great NBC sitcom Parks and Rec, and we are very honored to have here with us today the co-hosts of a brand new Parks and Rec rewatch, of course, from Survivor Millennials versus Gen X, and frequent RHAP guests. First is Hannah. Lil Nessen is here. Hannah, how are you?
I'm good. I'm glad I'm slowly changing over to this stage name of mine, which is just my first three names. I dropped the Shapiro. Yeah, all palindromes. I knew it would happen eventually, but I'm just glad we're committing to it now.
Okay, and Hannah's co-host on Pawnee Public Radio, a Parks and Rec rewatch podcast, Will Sonheim. Will, how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm so glad to be here. Yeah, it's nice to see you all in your little boxes.
Yes, so nice to have you here. Now, we could not do a BrantSteele without the BrantSteele master. Give it up for Mr. Mike Bloom.
Could not be happier to be here, Rob, especially given the fact that this BrantSteele, unlike the last one, has nothing to do with my body whatsoever. And I am to BrantSteele's what Leslie Knope is to waffles. I'd love to gobble them down, so I'm happy for another helping here.
Okay, this is going to be very fun, and I'm happy that we're able to coincide this BrantSteele today here with the launch of Hannah and Will's new podcast. The origin story was that when Hannah was on the feedback show back in April, she talked about her favorite show, Parks and Rec. She has all of these episodes memorized. I said, well, why don't you ever think about doing a Parks and Rec rewatch podcast? That's hot. And we started talking, and so yada, yada, yada. Here we are, and I'm happy to say that I have been helping Hannah and Will produce this podcast, which is just launching. You go to parksandrecpodcast.com to hear the preview episode from Hannah and Will. Hannah and Will, congratulations on being official podcasters.
Thank you so much. Thanks for producing it. Our talking turned to jokes, which turned to a real thing, as it often does.
Yeah.
I'm just so happy. RHAP has been the best community of all the Survivor communities. And I love coming on, and I love that it led to this. And then I love that I get to introduce my friend from college, Will.
Yeah,
yes.
It's great to be here. I feel very much like the new kid in a very cool high school, but all of like the cafeteria tables are just full of very kind, sweet people.
Yes. Okay. That's the first time that many of us have heard anything about being at a very cool high school. So we appreciate
I'm from Arkansas,
that.
so it's
or
all
at least like not a cool high school, or at least a cool table. I feel like there are cool high schools everywhere, just maybe not as like placid in kind.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah. Hannah and Will, can you just talk a little bit about your take on Parks and Rec and what people will hear when they listen to Pawnee Public Radio?
Yeah, we're happy to. So I've seen Parks and Rec hundreds and hundreds of times. It's sort of my comfort show. I do know almost every punchline to every joke and every moment. And I wanted to do a rewatch where we were able to chat about each episode, talk about why people keep coming back to this show, and also beyond that, just tell our own wacky stories based on each episode and really let Parks and Rec be the guide for a very comedy-based podcast. Will and I both have writing and improv backgrounds, and so we wanted to be a fun little Parks and Rec comedy podcast. Will, I'm sure you have something to add to my perfect explanation.
Piggybacking off of that, I've seen the show once. So the show is really open, I think, to a full range of listeners. But I do come from a small town, so I feel like I have that expertise in terms of raccoon infestations or angry townsfolk. So I can sort of be like a resident expert in that. A big Mike Schur fan, and excited to just spend some time with Hannah and with our listeners in just a feel-good show full of good people.
And Will, you are a novice to the Survivor world, correct? So this is going to be a very wild experience for you today to simulate a Survivor season.
I will say I'd like to be hazed a little bit. I mean, everyone has been really nice, but I think if you want to throw just a bit of shade my way, that would be acceptable, I think, as I stumble through this.
Okay. Mike, we have here today, of course, that we have to fit up the BrantSteele, match it up with an actual season of the show. And I thought that there would be great symmetry and fun to do Millennials versus Gen X for this exercise today.
Understandably so. Aside from yourself, we have never had the pleasure of having an actual Survivor alum on one of these things. Nobody has had the cojones to do so. So I'm so happy that Hannah is on here for a myriad of reasons. I also know that to introduce Hannah to the concept of BrantSteele, you actually ran a simulation of Millennials versus Gen X featuring her cast. How did that work out for you, Hannah?
So can I explain? So this was like a lot of my phone conversations with Hannah, where there was a little bit of confusion about, okay, so yeah, we'll see if Mike Bloom is around, and we'll do a BrantSteele, and we'll simulate. And she's like, wait, what do you mean we're gonna simulate a season? I'm like, what do you mean is this? Like, I'm like, okay, let me show you. And so I brought up the page of the BrantSteele, and then I said, okay, see, here's Millennials versus Gen X. And look, we can just shuffle up the cast. We put Amber Mariano in instead of Jay. Look, like we could do anything. And then I said, and then they go and they have a challenge, and they go to tribal council. And then lo and behold, Hannah got voted out first.
Yes. They wanted to show me how great this program was and how amazing it would be. And then my tribe went to tribal, and the votes were like C. And I was like, oh gosh. And then Hannah came up, and it was the rest were Hannah, and I had to get voted out first. And Adam Clyde still made it to the end.
Yes, Adam Clyde did make it to the final three with Chris Hammonds and Mari Takahashi. But it was a 4-4-2 split in the end. Adam Clyde was the 2. He had to cast the deciding vote between Mari Takahashi and Chris Hammonds. And congratulations, Chris Hammonds.
Chris Hammonds, you won the example.
Much like Natalie Anderson, went to The Amazing Race, then went to Survivor and ended up winning. But Hannah, at least you can say the only time you've been voted out in Survivor proper was in a fake one, which you have that above item.
Yeah. I mean, I deal with a lot of Survivor trauma, and I should have done this and I should have done that to win. But watching myself get voted out first, you know what? Maybe I'm proud of my actual performance for the first time. I'm like, yeah, I got this.
You did it.
I did it.
Okay.
I didn't get voted out.
You did have a smile on your face the entire time. I know it was a still image, but you maintained your positivity throughout.
It was the photos that were used were the horrible cast photos my cast got, because it kept raining in pregame.
Yeah, they forgot.
Where they usually, well, they didn't forget. They tried us inside. And then they chose for my cast photo the post-cyclone day 2 photo, where I'm drenched and looking horrible. And that photo may or may not ended up on a bad Survivor online chat thing, and it may or may not have been a discussion of if I was hot based on this horrible photo. And yes, I'm scarred for life, so maybe we should get started.
Okay. All right. Let's meet the cast of Millennials versus Gen X. Maybe, Mike, you could set them up, and then Hannah and Will, you guys can give us some commentary on who's here. And why don't we start off with meeting our tribe of Parks and Rec Millennials here today.
Millennials, very, very cutesy quotations here, because I think it's more about the millennial attitude than maybe the actual age range when it comes to millennials. So, in Hannah's actual season, that ended up being the case as well. But here is the Mouse Rat tribe representing.
That would have been cool if they would have had like somebody who was like the Steve Buscemi with the skateboard there on the Millennials tribe. Because I feel like they've done that.
They've done that for. They claim to have done that for beauty other times. They're like, it's not just physical beauty. It's inner beauty as well. And then my biggest fear is if I ever got on Survivor, that they would point to me and go, don't worry, Hannah. It's not just physical beauty. It's inner beauty. And I would be that person.
Well, there's a lot of inner beauty represented on this tribe here of Millennials. We're going in alphabetical order here by first name, and let's start with the guy who has played many hats over his time in Pawnee. It is, of course, Andy Dwyer. Johnny Karate / Burt Macklin himself is here to play Survivor. Now, Hannah, I can imagine, I think if I'm looking at a millennial tribe, this is probably the most representative of a millennial, right? Like, he is so just goes off of any whim that he wants to. Very easily like the most kid at heart of anyone in the cast. So he feels like a shoe-in here for this tribe.
Pure millennial. I watched a 20-minute video about how April and Andy represent millennial love and exactly what that is. Yeah, he is basically, he may actually be more of a Gen Z at heart. I feel like he's eternally like 14.
Even a Zoomer, it might just be every time there's a new generation, Andy just kind of gets knocked over and slides into like the most recent category. But I'm glad that he's on the millennial tribe right now.
I could see Andy doing like TikTok challenges and like breaking his legs or something while he's trying to do that. And of course, Hannah, you mentioned the millennial love between Andy and April, so it only makes sense that April is on the tribe with Andy. But the big question is, as per usual in our BrantSteeles, we don't really adjust any of the relationships. So there is a good chance here, depending on how many tribal councils Mouse Rat goes to, April may vote off Andy or vice versa here.
Yeah, there's no presets on this one.
Yeah.
I really hope April makes it far. I feel like she's sort of like a Survivor China Courtney version of like she's sort of that archetype where they're going to make her like pray with monks and she's going to roll her eyes. That's what April's going to be doing.
Yeah, I think what's fun about Parks and Rec, BrantSteele, is that because they kind of already do confessionals on Parks and Rec. Mike, has anybody ever done Parks and Rec Edgic and talked about how many confessionals each person has in an episode? And,
it's a good question because we do have the main characters doing talking heads, but like then we'll have random people doing it. Like I remember very fondly the doctor who gave the checkups and said that Jerry Gergich had the biggest penis he's ever seen. Like, does that person get like a UTR1 for that particular episode, but never show up again?
I don't know.
Will
it's so confused.
I think that's going to have to be an element. Listen, I can imagine there's going to be a bit of Survivor crossover nonetheless on Hannah and Will's podcast, just given with Hannah's history. So I would not be surprised if someone has a confessional tracker going throughout this entire series to see who has the most by the end.
Okay. Who else is here on this Mouse Rat tribe?
Well, in a show focusing on politics, of course, we have to have politicians here. And I guess you could call this guy a politician, even though he did not end up winning the role of city council member during his run in season 4. Bobby Newport is here to smile and act like the giddy golden retriever he is throughout the entire time here on Survivor Millennials versus Gen X.
Yes,
I feel like my favorite Bobby Newport and the thing that places him on this millennial tribe is when he's playing bowling, Wii Bowling, and he has a real bowling alley next to him. I think Bobby has earned the right to be a millennial.
It's good too that he's not sure if he's allowed to vote for himself. That might actually be an advantage in this game, I think.
Yeah.
And Bobby has also, wasn't he the person who said like at one point, like, if you don't want to vote for me, vote for Leslie, which could be a good tactic or a bad tactic. We'll see if votes end up springing onto him. Of course, right next to him, actually wearing a very similar suit, surprisingly, we've got Chris Traeger, the microchip man himself. I'll be honest, I'm both like intrigued and concerned about his health. Because as he mentioned, if you get a grain of sand in there, it all falls apart. But that being said, we could very easily be looking at a challenge beast here, considering how in peak physical condition Chris is.
So Chris was originally placed on the Gen X tribe and threw a fit when he found out that he was considered older and insisted that he would only play as a millennial. So that's why he's on the millennial team.
He's also been just doing like a pure rice-based diet for a few months in preparation for this.
He was like literally made for Survivor.
Yeah.
Of course, we have.
But he does. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say the one thing is producers are worried because he keeps making them redo his confessionals over and over until he gets it perfect.
Yeah,
exactly. Just screaming to himself. And of course, millennials are all about enterprising and entrepreneurial spirits. And so, of course, we have the one and only John Ralphio Saperstein here. Let's see if his gameplay turns out to be the worst. Fresh from getting hit by Alexis, here John Ralphio is.
I'm excited to see sort of the evolution of his scruff and his hair too. It just feels like that alone will be a growth arc, I think, of watching him grow into that island look.
Hair growth arc, yes.
This next person I'm very excited to see at Tribal Council because she is a talk show host herself, a bit of gotcha journalism here in Pawnee. It's the one and only Joan Calamezzo is here. Will she give the Jones pick to whoever ends up voting her out is the big question.
I know. If she's on that pregame trip, she's just going to be recording herself doing full episodes. And she sort of like Chris they originally suggested she was Gen X, and she broke down and took a bunch of pills. So they let her be on the Millennial Tribe as well.
All right. And of course, we have to go with this had to be on the cast in general, even if Ben Wyatt doesn't understand why he's cast in the first place. It is one of the most beloved, not only mini horses, but I would say figures in the history of Pawnee, Indiana. He is back from the dead as it is. Lil Sebastian is here.
I am a little concerned, I think, with depending on how many days in Lil Sebastian makes it. I think as his tribe gets hungrier, there is a danger that we might have to address.
Oh, no.
There might be a Mark the Chicken scenario going on with Lil Sebastian.
Yeah. Even though he's old, he's young in spirit also.
I don't know. I think Lil Sebastian is going to be a great strategist. I predict I really predict an evolution of the game from Lil Sebastian.
Fan favorite for sure.
Favorite evolution. Sia's pick. If Lil Sebastian doesn't get the Sia money, then we riot.
Well, here's someone who doesn't stand a chance of getting it, assuming he acts the way that he normally does. April's weird friend, Oren, is here, who has been seen many, many times across Parks and Rec. I definitely feel like this is going to be the purple guy, right? Considering how much he's like skulking silent in the background during Parks and Rec. That seems like his role to play here.
Yeah, I think he makes it deep into the merge, but has maybe a confessional, and it's a silent one.
Exactly.
Well, he's there for every conversation, right? Even if you don't realize it, he's there and he's listening.
Yeah,
he has maybe not a spy shack or a spy nest, but some sort of.
Look at Will with the Survivor reference.
Three references, and I'm going to sprinkle them through the entire show.
I'm really proud. Will just watched my season. He's in the finale of my season now, so he's
turn it off.
Familiar with this format.
Yeah, I know it. Yeah, Hannah won.
Yeah, let's just go with that.
Yeah.
So we had to, of course, fill in like the amorphous blob. One of the things that I love about Parks and Rec is like it's the closest thing to a live action Simpsons I've ever experienced, and that like there are so many fleshed out members of this weird and wacky town, and so they're all sort of lumped together. I don't know why they're millennials, maybe because they complain a lot. But yeah, this is essentially just the citizens of Pawnee playing as one voice, even though they are very rarely in unanimity here.
This is interesting. Hannah, how do you see this working? Are they sort of like, is the giant collective brain of Pawnee citizens like all in like Patton Oswalt's body?
Yeah, is this the Borg?
I think every confessional of them is just a bunch of people shouting angry complaints. And I think that it's I think they maybe elect a representative every episode to sort of be the physical manifestation of them, but it is all their thoughts. Will, do you agree with that?
Oh, 100%.
Very confusing description.
Well, there's definitely also what's interesting about the Pawnee citizens is there's sort of like an Agent Smith element too, in that I'm assuming that BrantSteele takes place within the Matrix. That is probably a longer conversation that we won't go into.
Fair.
Yes.
But I think they are Legion.
Makes sense. I could see it.
And finally, finishing off our millennial tribe, he is the sometimes partner of Jean-Ralphio Saperstein, and sometimes a romantic partner for some people, including some people on this cast. Of course, we've got Tommy Swag himself, Tom Haverford of Tom's Bistro, Rent a Swag, Entertainment 720, et cetera, et cetera.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be very hard for him. He had an entire episode of Parks and Rec where he had to leave his iPhone in a box because he was caught texting and driving, and he went insane. So I expect Will won't understand this reference. I expect him to be talking into rocks and have fake phones on the island.
Yeah, I also think the first instance he gets of like having to tear his suit or something he's throwing a hissy fit right there.
Yeah, perhaps he can get a bunch of things from the Sharper Image catalog sent his way and have some side like spy bunker that he could just be camping out in. Okay,
with an ice cream machine. Yeah.
Yes. All right. Let's meet the Gen X tribe here, the Cones of Dunshire tribe.
Yes, the Cones of Dunshire tribe, representing one of the most complex games, yet beloved games created on the tabletop circuit. And we'll get to maybe the creator of the Cones of Dunshire being on this tribe. Won't spoil anything. But first, Ann Perkins, everyone's favorite land mermaid, nurse practitioner, etc. She's back from Michigan, and she is here to be playing some Survivor. I have high hopes for Anne. Anne seems like the type of person with, she was even able to get April to warm up to her. I think she's a very amiable type of person, one of the more grounded characters in Parks and Rec history, and I think that allows people to easily get along with her.
I hope all her introductions are just Leslie describing her, though. Yeah. I hope she doesn't introduce herself. Leslie just goes, this beautiful land mermaid, and then we cut to Anne making rice or something.
I think there's a possibility with Anne, too, at the Merge Feast.
Look at Will.
Maybe we see a different side of her. And I think if there are any showmances on the island, I think there's a danger. I hope she can keep her mind on the game. But I think there's the potential.
Has a showmance ever helped someone in the game of Survivor in the history? Do you think?
Oh yeah.
Who would who if you had to list
Boston Rob?
There you go.
Oh, well, little do you know, this is actually just a secret Survivor trivia show that we're just
testing. We're just introducing Will to RHAP.
This thing is
in
never
a brutal way.
I did just notice that I'm on top of a trap door, and I hope that has nothing to do with how I perform.
Yeah, not whatsoever. So, of course, we have, I guess I'd say, the third point of Leslie's love triangle here. And, of course, the mayor of former Ice Town himself, Mr. Ben Wyatt. Ben has shown himself to be good with numbers. Rob, I don't know if that makes him very War Dog-esque in the number crunching he'll be able to do this season.
Yeah, I don't think that Ben Wyatt and War Dog share much in common.
No, neither do I.
Fair to say. So here's a panel of peeps that take the radio circuit by storm. It's Crazy Ira and the douche.
Crazy Ira went to Northwestern in the show, and Will and I are Northwestern alumni. So there you go.
Look at us all now.
Exactly. So let's see if they can do your alma mater proud. They are known as the shock jocks of Pawnee Radio, so I'm not sure how that's going to bear out socially. But you know what? If they want to keep things nice and light during downtime on Survivor, they're the ones to do so.
Yes.
Yeah, I think the sound effects during the 3 a.m. slot might start to grate a little bit. Yeah, during the middle of the night.
Yeah, I think Crazy Ira and the douche would have a pretty lit Ponderosa video.
Oh my God, yeah, Chris. Eat your heart out. We got Crazy Ira and the douche hosting. They're going to put Mata Amu to shame with their radio show that they're hosting. Or maybe these next two guys will. We have the other side of the spectrum of the Pawnee Radio. They recently paired together co-hosts of Thoughts for Your Thoughts. It's Derry Merbles and August Clementine. And I believe, actually, August Clementine, with maybe the exception of Leslie, technically speaking, is the only Eagletonian representative in this cast.
That is true. And they co-host their show on Pawnee Public Radio, which is the name of Will and my podcast. So we'll keep mentioning our podcast every time we talk about them.
Are they your competitors?
Maybe they're our enemies. Maybe you're right.
They're ops. Yeah.
A great rivalry.
I mean, they're ops within themselves too, so hopefully that helps, or that creates more drama. The next person does not care about winning a car because she's got her Mercedes. She's all set. It's Donna Meagle. She's ready to treat herself on Survivor.
Donna, I think, is a contender to win also.
I agree. I think also she I love, I just think it's, she's going to go all out. She's going to, every time she wins a reward, she's going to call it the Treat Yourself reward.
Yeah. I feel like she always knows what's going on. She's not always saying what she thinks necessarily. She can keep a secret. I think she's got a really good social game.
Great social game.
Yeah. Look out for Donna.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, going into the season, all the podcasts have been saying that Donna could win.
Yeah. Big winner pick for Donna Meagle.
And we go from that to what all the podcasts are saying probably will be the first bid.
Oh, yeah. This guy is not even making it onto anyone's draft teams. Whether you call him Jerry, Larry, Terry, or Gary, Mr. Gergich is here to... He just is going to come with the dodo edit, right? That's just going to play every time he's on screen.
It feels like he really just wants to make it to the family visit, and I secretly hope he does, just to see the look on everyone else's face.
Yeah, I think Chris Traeger hopes he makes it to the family visit, too.
Mike, is there a Survivor equivalent of Jerry?
Probably Keith Nail.
What would that Keith Nail? Everybody.
I think Keith Nail in terms of like being
him?
more bumbling, but I think in terms of like, oh my god, we can't stand this person. I feel like Shambo is a good Jerry Gergich, but I feel like Jerry doesn't have the personality that Shambo does, so it's sort of tough to find a composite. I guess the best qualities of Shambo and Keith Nail are Jerry Gergich.
I don't think we should offend former survivors by comparing them to this monster.
Yeah.
I mean, in casting, he didn't even call Jeff by his correct name. He called him Bob. I mean, it was crazy. The casting stories about Jerry are insane.
Yeah, I heard he got his photo taken for his photo shoot, and he split his pants when he was bending over to pick up a rock. And that made the cast list. That was the best one. So that says a lot about how
he was blinking in all the other ones.
So that's going to say a lot about how he does this season. Of course, what would a Parks and Rec season be without the one and only Leslie Knope? I am predicting, no matter how Leslie places, she's going to be a big player this season, no matter what, considering how much of a go-getter she is and simultaneously how much of a planner she is as well. Every tribal council, she has a binder prepared to show to her allies.
Yeah, she really has. She's dream journaled about this, I think, enough. She has a vision board. She made a second vision board when she got to the island using, sticks, twigs, shells, just sort of adjust the image. I think she's either going to go very far or maybe be betrayed immediately.
I think she's my biggest hope for an all-female alliance as well, a sort of Galentine's Day crew. I'm really hoping she takes the women and they get out the Jerrys of the world,
Yeah. Mike, when we did the TV, what was it? TV.com.
Oh, yeah.
TVinsiders.com. Yeah, TVinsider.com. We did a BrantSteele with based on characters from the top 50 TV characters of all time. I believe Leslie Knope might have been a first boot on that season.
I'm pretty sure she was one of the early boots, if not the first
one.
So
this is her returnee season.
Yes.
This is
her time. She's been dreaming of this. She's been going to all the events, trying to pregame, really, really doing it up.
Yeah, she's been organizing the Hearts of Reality stuff. She took over organizing that. Like, this is her project now. So now she's hopeful that transcends onto the island.
Yeah.
Hey, remember this guy, Mark Brandanowitz? Some of you might not. He lasted 2 seasons on Parks and Rec. I think he was one of the former city planners. A little bit of a love interest for Leslie and Anne, not too keen about his job. We shall see if he goes the full 39 days or Mark Brandana quits before it's all over.
I mean, I really wanted to write a BuzzFeed quiz, which Parks and Rec character are you? And just make every answer Mark Brandanowitz just to mess with people. I mean, Mark inexplicably had everyone in love with him, despite his good characteristics being questionable. So maybe we'll see a similar thing this season. He'll make it far and we'll just ask why again and again.
I also think there's maybe like an 80% chance that he violates his NDA and doesn't show up in the show at all.
Yeah, I could see that. Like he leaves Ponderosa, just like takes off, and then they have to ban him from the reunion.
Pawnee DeRosa.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
This next person is going to be a contestant on this season of Survivor. It's Perd Hapley.
I think one thing I'm really excited to see Perd at Tribal, because I think he truly is going to call it exactly as he sees it.
Yeah, exactly. No, but big Rick Devens upside for Perd Hapley.
Oh, dun, 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 dun. Yeah, I love it.
I'm not sure he's going to be the best liar since he doesn't understand like tonal voices and stuff. I think this is, let's see. Maybe he will surprise us.
He definitely seems like someone who could fail his way to winning it all. Just like fail forward, and everyone can't decide if he's the smartest or dumbest person.
He's a straight shooter. That could serve him well at the final tribal council.
Yeah.
And finally, fun fact: this guy had been living out in Fiji for 3 weeks before they even started the season. He just fashioned his own log cabin, Boston Rob style. It is, of course, Ron Swanson here to round out the cast.
I think people are going to want to keep him around. I mean, he is going to build his tribe a Wendell-esque castle. I think
Wendell.
I think he's going to catch a lot of fish. He's going to be a provider. I think his real downside is that He's not going to pretend to like anybody.
No. Not a great social game for Ron. We'll see. He's not a people pleaser. We'll see if that hurts him in the game.
Right, but I feel like there is some sort of like Rudy Bosch-esque qualities to him of like, well, listen, he might be grumpy,
he's loyal.
But at least we always know where he's going to stand. So then that's a lot better than maybe some of these more duplicitous people. Like much like Perd Hapley, you always know how Ron Swanson is going to react to something, which is probably going to be negatively for the most part. But again, the devil you know is better than the devil you don't.
I also feel like maybe all of his confessional videos will have kind of a witness protection vibe with like a pitched down voice, and we'll know it's him. Yeah.
Erase all confessionals of Ron.
I don't think he's going to like the national television part of it. I think they're going to say, please say your name and why you're here. And he's going to say, no, that's private information. So I think they're going to struggle to get stuff out of him.
All right. Well, let's jump to our marooning of this group here.
Yes, Hannah remembers it well when they have to run around the sand and grab as much stuff as possible. And there's a little bit of a twist in the form of the legacy advantage. Yeah. It looks like Crazy Ira and the Douche, they had twice as many eyes as the regular Survivor contestant. That worked out well as they were able to find the legacy advantage and exceeded. We're able to just make a big kerfuffle about it, right? Like they're not keeping this a secret whatsoever.
Legacy advantage for Crazy Ira and the Douche.
Woo!
Congratulations, guys.
Congrats.
I think also when they hid the legacy advantage, there are like lots of fart sound effects, so people also know where they're hiding it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Howard Tuttleman, the Douche from Northwestern, representing us well so far.
Yeah, good start for the Northwestern representation here, from a Midwestern show represented in Parks and Rec here. So Mouse Rat Tribe. Mouse Rat has an idol that's currently hidden. I don't think they're going to hear anything from these tribes for now until after the challenge.
I'm really upset because Jerry Gergich couldn't even make it up the hill to like help his team find idols. He fell. Production had to come help him. So that also happened as well.
Yeah, it was very much like the opening of Winners at War, right? Like Jerry gets off the boat and falls into the water, completely submerging himself.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, now we are going to go to our first immunity challenge, Mike.
Oh boy.
Okay, which tribe is going to be immune for this first vote?
All right, and I believe that the Millennials Mouse Rat Tribe has succeeded to sing Another Day. I believe this is the one where you guys had to like crisscross
through.
At the first pass, and it's safe to say that these, Mini Horse included, and the massive populace of Pawnee just muscled through the Gen X tribe.
I will
completely.
say, Lil Sebastian did a great job on that final puzzle, this challenge.
Yeah.
Again, the strategy from Lil Sebastian, seeing the puzzle, figuring it out. This was the challenge that Michaela, I was about to go get out of the maze thing, and she grabbed me by the shoulders and threw me out of it as if I needed help out. And the GIF is very funny.
I can imagine that Tom plays that role of just them yanking this little guy around. Congratulations, Mouse Rat Tribe. They've won immunity.
Millennials.
And Flint as well to start a fire. And Oren is holding on to that Flint, like maliciously so, but nobody wants to take it from him.
Yeah, they're going to be warm.
Yeah, he keeps muttering about like a spell that might be connected to Flint in some way, and he just needs 2 more elements. So let's just keep an eye on him, I think.
Let's go to the beach and see what's happening. Okay. Meanwhile, we have an event has happened. Bobby Newport and Lil Sebastian have a major fight. Uh-oh.
No good. I think Bobby Newport, he comes from money. I think he would want to reasonably pay Little Sebastian to be his ally, but Little Sebastian doesn't play the game like that. And so I can imagine that there's a little bit of a scuffle there.
Yeah. Okay. Bobby Newport keeps being like, thumbs up. And Lil Sebastian like totally doesn't have any thumbs. Yeah.
We have an alliance.
We have a couple of alliances. April, Chris, Jean Ralphio, Oren, the Pawnee Citizens, and Tom have an alliance. So that's an alliance of 6 to look out for on the Millennial Tribe. And then there is another alliance of 4. Jean Ralphio and Oren are in this alliance too, with Lil Sebastian and Chris Traeger. So actually, Chris Traeger's in both alliances also. So Chris Traeger, Jean Ralphio, and Oren have made a side alliance with Lil Sebastian.
I feel like Chris Traeger is just going up to everyone and going, I want to work with you. That's why he's sort of the leader of these alliances.
Lil Sebastian, You are literally the person I wanted to talk to today.
Yeah, no, Chris is going to be in the, just like with Anne when she didn't realize that like she broke up with him. Everyone's going to think they're in an alliance with Chris Traeger, right? He's just so nice and so kind to everybody. But yeah, this is an interesting, like, it's not an onion. It's almost like a separate smaller vegetable is being formed from this majority alliance of 6. So the 3 Musketeers here of Chris Traeger, Jean-Ralphio, and Oren have been able to make their way well in this tribe. That's not going to tribal this time around.
Okay.
I feel bad. Andy's not in any alliance, but it's because he keeps going out to production and asking them if they have candy.
A quick question.
Too busy.
Do you think Lil Sebastian has told people his true identity? Do you think they know that he's the Lil Sebastian, or are they just like, you look familiar?
Yeah, well, the weird thing is he has a tattoo on his back that says Lil Sebastian that has covered up by his saddle for now. He's not going to reveal it until he feels really confident in his tribe.
Okay.
Will, what is that Survivor reference?
Boston Rob. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
It's like 3 degrees removed from Boston Rob, basically.
Let's go to the Gen X tribe and see what's going on. Okay. We know about Crazy Ira and the Douche having the legacy advantage.
The millennial tribe.
Oh, and that's basically it. Nothing happening at
alliances.
Millennial camp.
So this is literally anything can happen. We are about to go into tribal council.
Oh no.
So there's a chance someone could join Hannah Shapiro here as the first boot of a Millennials versus Gen X simulation.
I know who it's gonna be.
All right, let's get to the votes. Everybody is in play. Crazy Ira and the Douche. Mike, the legacy advantage can be played with 9 people or 6 people left, or 13 people?
13 and 6 is the legacy advantage.
13 and 6 for the
legacy advantage. They can't play it right now.
Right. Yeah. Right. Okay. All right. First vote comes up. Leslie Knope.
No.
Leslie Knope.
Wow.
Oh.
I don't think it'll be her, though.
Leslie Knope.
3 votes, Leslie. Is this a Dave Wright
Leslie
situation?
Knope. 4 votes, Leslie.
Oh my gosh.
Too big
Ben
of a
Wyatt.
threat.
Oh, that's
no.
the worst possible outcome.
Ben Wyatt.
Or Leslie.
Ben Wyatt. Wyatt. We're tied 4-4. Ben Wyatt.
Oh, could Ben go 6-4 here?
Oh,
Ben Wyatt, the tribe has spoken.
Wow.
You're heading back to Icetown tonight.
Wow. Ben, I thought he was going to have, like, he's good with the numbers. He seems pretty good politically speaking. I think maybe it's just the fact that him and Leslie are too much of a power couple. Yeah.
Showmance, yeah.
And they voted for each other because they had to. It's going to cause fights at home.
Yeah. Look,
it's like the series finale, right, where they were temporarily competing against one another to be governor or something, and one had to step down. It's sort of like that situation again.
Mm-hmm. Let's see the votes. Anne voted for Ben. She's not going to vote for Leslie.
Yeah.
Crazy Ira and the Douche were votes for Ben, as were Dan Hugh, Derry Merbles, and August Clemens. So maybe there's a radio alliance.
Well, they've also Leslie. Ben's not great on radio.
Anna voted for Ben. Jerry voted
of course,
for
Jerry
Leslie.
misvotes.
Well, Jerry actually thought that he was voting for Leslie just to keep her. It was kind of a miscommunication, I think. He didn't
Meta World Peace, Rob.
Mark Brandanowitz voted for Ben because he was an earlier love interest.
Yeah, Perd and Ron also voted for Leslie. So interesting. Okay.
Leslie is going to have trouble letting this one go.
All right.
Yeah.
We're down to the final 19.
Yeah, I think they screwed up in keeping Leslie Knope because, like, hell hath no fury. Like essentially they tried to recall her in this vote and she survived. And that means she's going to bring hellfire to whatever this Gen X tribe is doing next.
Okay. Meanwhile, April has found the mouse rat hidden immunity idol.
I think that makes a lot of sense. Again, April is very crafty when she applies herself. And I could imagine, like, everyone else is working on the shelter and she's just sort of like aimlessly wandering around and happens to find the idol.
So April has the immunity idol. The alliances here are still the same over on the Millennial tribe.
What is Andy doing? What is he just playing by himself in the
Meanwhile, Perd happily has found the Dunshire tribe hidden immunity idol.
This just in, I have found an idol.
Yeah,
that's what he walks back to camp and says. He holds it up in his hand.
Okay. Crazy Ira and the Douche have the legacy advantage, and Perd has the hidden immunity idol over on the Gen X tribe.
A lot of the big players who were fan favorites coming in are not looking like they're controlling the game. It's a real game changer situation.
Yeah, they're really. I think they're
targets.
Yeah, I think they're sitting back and like maybe resting on their laurels a bit of like they know my resume, whereas these others are like, okay, I'm gonna work hard. I mean, April seemed to find her idol by accident, but yeah, I think there's like a media alliance going on here with Crazy Ira and the Douche, Perd Hapley, and Derry Merples and August Clementine. That might be dangerous in this game with all the advantages they're racking up here.
Okay. All right. Let's go to our immunity challenge here, episode number 2. And it looks like the Millennial tribe has won immunity, sending Gen X to tribal council again.
Oh, boy.
Hopefully they can make some alliances this time around.
Okay.
I just really don't want Leslie voted out second. She was on the block last time. I'm worried.
Okay. April and Bobby Newport find something in common and has a lasting impact. Hannah, what do you think that could be?
I think April hates everyone and Bobby loves everyone. And so their general feeling about people being the exact opposite is sort of opposites attract, kindred spirits.
Yin yang from your season, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's sort of the David Wright Ken situation.
Yes. Okay. Meanwhile, we have another alliance here. April and Andy have finally linked up with Bobby Newport and Joan Calamezzo.
That makes sense. I think Joan is quite honestly trying to bed Bobby Newport, and I think that it serves as like a double date alliance from a certain perspective.
I love that.
So it's going to be weird, but it's happening.
And April always wanted to work with her husband, Andy, to be clear. But, he was building sandcastles, like Will said, in the sand. And he was very distracted.
Okay. All right. Let's go over to what's happening on the Gen X tribe. Crazy Ira and the Douche have the legacy advantage. Perd has immunity idol. Meanwhile,
oh no,
Crazy Ira and the Douche and Derry Marbles and August Clementine bond slightly. Will, that's a lot of numbers to 4 people. It's only 2 votes, though.
Yeah, I'm very interested in these conversations. I also this seem like 2 pairs that are sort of the survivor couples that are talking about life after the show. Like you got to come by, to the studio.
Starting
We'd
a radio
love to have you guys
station.
on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Rob, is this like a Pax Bros situation? Like, are they trading off, competing in challenges and voting? I'm intrigued as to how they work together.
I don't know how exactly they're doing it.
I think maybe
like a twin twist.
Maybe one baggy like tracksuit. And just like someone
I like that. They'll stay warm.
On the back.
Yeah. Or a giant trench coat.
Mark Brandanowitz and Perd Hapley have something in common. Mike, what could that be?
I mean, I think Mark Brandanowitz is sort of like, I don't know. It seemed like he sort of moved on from the government more so into construction. I think he likes the fact that Perd Hapley is a straight shooter. That he's like, I think he appreciated his honesty when it came to the idol. I think Mark also sees like, look, this guy has the idol. I better join up with him. I'd rather be on his side than him possibly throwing a vote my way. So Mark is playing a subtle game here with this move.
Okay. It's Tribal Council number 2 here on Cones of Dunshire. All right.
I'm nervous. We lost Ben last time.
Got 4 votes last time. Let's see if she's able to survive the vote. First, Perd Hapley, he has the immunity idol. Perd will not be playing the idol, so all the votes will count tonight. All right. First vote, Perd.
Oh no!
Oh, they know.
Is he gonna go home with an idol in his
Mark
pocket?
do?
He did announce that he had the idol.
He did come and say, "This just in, I have the idol." Do you think as Jeff reads the votes, he goes, "Another vote for me"?
Yes.
That is 2 votes for Perd Hapley.
Another
this
vote.
Just in, 2 votes
for Perd Hapley. That's 3.
The feeling I'm feeling is nervous.
4 votes for Perd Hapley.
Wow, one more and he's gone.
Derry and August.
Of Pawnee Public Radio. Similar to Will and my podcast.
Derry and August.
Oh,
could this be another 5? It could be a 5-4
Derry
vote.
and August. Derry and August. The second player voted out of Survivor Parks and Rec is Derry and August. Perd will stay safe.
Perd playing with fire there and saving his idol despite 4 votes going against him. And Leslie Knope survives another day.
Okay. All right. Let's see what happened. So the votes for Derry and August, it was Ann Perkins.
Mm-hmm.
It was Donna. it was Jerry, it was Leslie, and it was Ron, I guess. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, it was like the Parks and Rec office crew all voted for Purd. Meanwhile, it was.
Oh no, it was.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So it looks like Mark and Ron voted with the Radio Alliance, basically.
Yes. Okay.
To vote out Purd, and basically everyone else was like, no. There are two pairs right now in this game. Let's get rid of one of them at least. And again, they know that Crazy Ira and the Douche have a legacy advantage. They don't know what that is at this point. So they said, let's just get rid of the other pair here. And to be fair, Derry and August, as they get up to get their torch, are like very contemplative. They're very, lilting and soft with their voices, even though they're
also fighting over who gets the last word. I think that was part of it. Remember, they were on Pawnee Public Radio, which is the name of Will and my podcast.
Yes. Mike, do you think that there's any sort of a feud between Purd on television and the radio guys?
Yeah, I mean, I could see that, I think if Joan was on this tribe, that could be another thing as well. Purd is sort of the sole representative of TV personalities, and maybe they feel like he's a bit, pedestrian above it all. So it was a battle of the media personalities here, and it looks like Ron, I think, hasn't voted correctly either tribal council.
He doesn't care. His heart's not into it. Okay. No new alliances here on the Millennial tribe.
Does Gen X have any alliances?
No.
I don't believe they do. Despite going to tribal council twice.
Very similar to my season, I'd say. Millennials playing a lot of hard alliances. Gen X.
Millennials, they play fast. Gen X, they're waiting to see how it's going to go.
They use you.
Yes. All right. Let's go and see Immunity Challenge number 3. And this time, the Gen X tribe is going to save themselves from a vote.
Finally.
And the Millennials will go to Tribal Council. So let's see what's going on back on their beach
this is going to be a mess.
Could be a messy day over on the Mousetrap tribe. We see. Okay. Joan and the Pawnee citizens have bonded slightly, Will.
Yeah, I think... Joan just likes attention, and she realizes that they're looking at her, and that's enough. She'll die for them now.
And Joan's like a bit of like a rumor mongerer, right? Like she's the one to easily throw stuff out there. So I think she could easily just whisper some stuff to the Pawnee citizens, and they'll get irascible like they usually do.
This is an obvious alliance. Oh gosh, we've got another one.
Ralphio and Tom bond strongly, naturally so.
Yes. Okay.
It's Entertainment 720. It's
Tom
and
Alliance is back.
Yes, this is an obvious one. Debt left shrimp. They've hired to get coconuts for them.
Do you think they installed a party button at the camp to hit every time they want stuff to drop from the coconuts drop from the ceiling?
Absolutely. Okay. Coconuts drop from the ceiling. The fire enlarges.
Unfortunately, also, John Ralphio has spent the $1 million that he hasn't won yet. So he's in a bit of a pickle and really needs to win this one.
Okay. And Andy and Lil Sebastian have had a major fight, Mike.
Oh.
Wow. I mean, it's tough. I think that Lil Sebastian, was disapproving of Andy's shirking ways, wants him to pitch in a little bit. And Andy, of course, only really being driven when he selectively wants to be, is a little angry that Lil Sebastian has the wherewithal to tell him what to do. So I think there's a fundamental disagreement between these two otherwise beloved characters.
Yeah.
I don't know when to say this, but this is really fun, and I hope people listening are having fun. This is not necessarily the time, but I just want to say this is really goofy and fun. And
I think bring it up every tribal, Hannah.
I think every tribal I should bring up how fun this is.
I mean, it's very equivalent to your season, right? When the first tribal council, you guys were all sitting around being like, wow, this is amazing. You're just bringing that attitude to the BrantSteele.
Yeah. Also, I think Lil Sebastian didn't like that Andy kept trying to ride him. He's a mini horse, Get
off me.
Something's going on with our alliance of 6 here. The Pawnee citizens have left the alliance. They
were in that
outraged.
Alliance of 6. The Pawnee citizens. Maybe this has anything to do, Mike, with Joan putting little whispers into the ears of the Pawnee citizens. Yeah,
Joan was trying to start a witch hunt against April Ludgate in particular, and they said, "We're not going to be in an alliance with a witch. We're leaving." And so they decided to storm out of this alliance.
Yes.
Okay.
And it looks like another alliance is forming here between Andy and Bobby Newport, which also makes sense, right? I feel like they had some camaraderie together in season 4 or whatever.
This makes so much sense. The Pawnee citizens asked for a topless park, and April said, absolutely not. go home with that idea, and they left it.
Okay. All right. So a lot going on over on the Millennials
Oh
tribe.
my God, this is gonna be messy.
Similar to my season, a lot happening.
On the
All
Gen
right.
X tribe, we know about the legacy advantage and the immunity idol for
Uh-oh.
Purr.
We've got an
Leslie and
event.
Ron are finally bonding. Okay.
All right,
Similar to the show.
it's just like 2017 all over again. They locked them in a room for an entire night, and they were able to finally come to terms, despite the fact that Ron voted for Leslie before.
Is this the evacuation, the sort of cyclone evacuation? It was that room that they locked them
Yeah,
in.
Maybe.
That
They locked them in that hotel basement, and just sort of kept them there overnight.
I love
Okay.
that they're bonding. Oh, here we go. Tribal.
All right.
Do you think someone's
First
going to be
tribal
told to
council.
vote at Tribal? Do you think like Chris will whisper to April, the vote is changing?
Well, you know
Maybe.
that John Ralphio is going to do it, right? But
Yeah.
he's not going to do it quietly.
No.
April has the idol. We'll see if it
Okay.
comes up
Does
here.
she play it? Or does
Okay,
she hold
April
on?
has the idol, and April will not play her idol. So all
Oh,
the votes will count
April.
here.
I don't know. I
Okay.
feel like the Pawnee citizens might be in trouble here. They just left the alliance.
Easily could be.
Or they could have targeted April.
They left that 6-person alliance. We know there's a 4-person alliance. Let's see what's going on here. First of all, little Sebastian.
No,
I mean, he was causing a lot of drama with multiple people. All right.
Little
okay.
Sebastian.
Well, I've been seeing how the votes have been stacked. The past two
Yeah.
tribal councils.
This feels like similar
This
to
just feels
Survivor.
like trickery.
Yeah, like when Jeff reads the vote, it's never the first.
Little Sebastian.
What if it's just a blowout, though, and we're wrong? Oh, no.
Little Sebastian.
What's wrong with these
Up in
people?
horsey heaven here. Oh!
Andy.
No!
Oh,
no.
They shouldn't have fought. It drew the eyes onto both of them.
Andy. Andy.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
Andy.
They could have been
Tied.
such good friends in real life.
4-4 tie.
Oh, no.
Andy.
Could this could be a 5-5 tie. No, it's
Andy.
not. Wow, 6 and
Andy,
4.
the tribe has spoken.
Wow, this is
Do you
a little
think-
surprising.
Do you think
Yeah.
Andy's upset, or he's just excited to go to Australia on a pre-merge trip?
Mhm. Yeah.
I don't
He's
think
excited.
Andy necessarily realized. I mean, I think he's sad to leave April, right? I think he's sad that he had to leave her behind. But I think otherwise, like maybe they were also getting annoyed that he was doing too much like Burt Macklin FBI stuff at night to like entertain them. Like clearly he's a lot. But I'm surprised he was so entrenched. Like he was in that alliance with the double date alliance with April and Joan and Bobby Newport. He had
And
a side
April-
alliance with him and Bobby Newport.
His wife had an idol and didn't play it for him. Why do you think that is?
She blindsided. They
Oh.
thought little Sebastian was going home.
Oh,
I
Yeah.
feel like there was a fun moment when Jeff extinguishes Andy's torch and he just keeps relighting it. And he thinks that's like part of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the votes for little Sebastian were Andy and April and Bobby Newport.
And
bet
I imagine Joan too.
Yeah.
Mm.
See if Joan, yeah, and Joan. And then it was the other 6: Chris Traeger, John Ralphio, little Sebastian, Oren, the townspeople, and Tom Haverford.
Wow. Tom and Chris turning on Andy feels a little sus, but it's the game of Survivor. Anything can happen. Whew, what a tough. At least two of the first 3 boots are top 10 Parks and Rec characters in my mind. It's a tough boot order.
This
so
is
far.
hard. As Burt Macklin leaves, April
Hmm.
makes those sound effects.
Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and get to our 4th episode here of the season. And over on the Millennials tribe, we now have an alliance of April, Chris, John Ralphio, Oren, and Tom. Mike, this is interesting because this group voted against Andy in the last round, left April out in the dark.
Yeah, but I mean, they didn't vote against April, just April's closest ally. So there is a chance that she might still be in with them. They could say that as much to her. That's the thing as well, as while April is definitely, was on the other side of the vote this time, she does have an idol. And it seems like if these 5 stick together, they could clean house right now. But it depends on, if the involvement with Bobby Newport and little Sebastian is going to overwhelm that.
Yes. Chris, John Ralphio, Lil Sebastian, and Oren are an alliance. And then the people that got left out of the vote, April, Bobby Newport, and Joan, also in an
April is
alliance.
playing a great game. I feel like she's really weaving herself in with all sides.
Yeah, she's just indifferent to everybody, and they all think that she's in their alliance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love it.
Okay. Meanwhile, over on the Gen X tribe, We have Purd and the Legacy Advantage with
And
Crazy
still
Iron
no
Douche.
alliances.
No alliances. They don't believe
The
in
swap
alliances.
is going to be so messy.
Yeah, maybe Ron got everybody to agree to a no alliance game.
You think he'd be the best at it, though, considering like he has all that gold buried, right? Like he'd know where to dig for this stuff if he wanted it.
I do feel like Ron is probably going on idol hunts, but is searching way more intensely. You know, he's like chiseling away like into the rock. Has like has set up mines all over the.
Okay, let's go to our immunity challenge here in round 4. And
this is the reward challenge.
We have a reward
this is
challenge.
the Michaela Tata's memorial challenge for wrestling in the water.
All right. So it is the Gen X tribe winning a reward. So now we'll go to immunity challenge.
Yeah, and it's safe to say that Ron was sort of the Chris Hammonds in this, right? Like he was like powering through, barreling everyone.
I wonder if, similar to my season, the tide was pushing us towards the Gen X pole in an unfair way, like it was my season.
Okay. At the Gen X tribe, they have won the immunity idol here today, and they will not be going to tribal council. The Millennials will be going to a second tribal council in a row.
Okay, so we're tying things up here, and the Millennials do have, I don't say they have the messier dynamics, they just probably have the more fluid dynamics and people hopping back and forth here. April does have the idol, and Bobby Newport is becoming like a social beast on this tribe. He's finding things in common with everybody. Now it's Orin.
Yeah, they both figured out that they actually don't have a reflection in a mirror with something they have in common.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, Paul Rudd does never age, so it makes sense that he's a vampire as well.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. On the Gen X tribe.
Well, an alliance form.
Oh, an event has happened. Leslie has a major meltdown, Hannah.
Oh, no.
What happened?
I mean, she's still upset about the votes from like 3 tribals ago. And she decides to confront everyone. They ignore her, so she dumps the rice.
Oh.
She, but then she feels so bad and is so apologetic that she picks every grain of rice out of the fire that she dumped and creates a 10-point plan to how to win everyone back.
Yeah, and she
it's
creates
Leslie Knope. She doesn't...
A tribe holiday called Rice Day to commemorate the occasion that she's proposing to the rest of the tribe.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
She just cares so much. I think Leslie Knope playing Survivor, it's just tough. She cares 20,000 times about everything more than anyone else.
The swap is looming. Let's see if that's going to end up haunting her here after this vote. Let's go to our tribal council number 4. All right. 9 members will vote here on the Mouse Rat tribe. Mike, are you feeling like anybody is in particular jeopardy?
I would say, so I think that you have to look at the 3 who are left out, which is April, Bobby Newport, and Joan Calamezzo. April's in a majority alliance and has an idol. I don't remember if Bobby was in that majority alliance of 5, but I feel like it's Joan. I feel like it could fall on Joan.
Joan or Lil Sebastian?
Lil Sebastian did get votes last time.
Yeah.
I mean, April's at the bottom of the majority alliance, but she's still in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she also looks a lot less powerful with Andy gone now, right? Sort of like with Leslie and Ben.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
The best thing for Chris and Ann was that they were separated on different tribes.
Definitely.
First vote, April.
Oh, God.
I apologize. She has the idol. Sorry. She has the idol. And
she's going to play it.
April was going to play her idol.
For herself or others?
Yes.
Yeah, for her.
Any votes against April will not count.
Good on her. She saw the writing on the wall.
Okay, here we go. All right. First vote, Pawnee townsfolk.
Okay.
A real surprise.
Lil Sebastian.
That's what we expected.
Pawnee citizens.
Oh, wow. This is a different vote pattern.
Pawnee citizens. That's 3 votes for the Pawnee citizens.
The complaints if they get voted out.
They could be going here. I think this is it for them.
Joan Calamezzo. So that's 4 votes Pawnee citizens, 1 vote Joan, 1 vote Little Sebastian, 3 votes left. Joan Calamezzo.
Let's see.
Joan
oh my God! This could be a 4-4-1 tie right here.
Joan Calamezzo. Okay, we are tied. 4 votes for Joan. 4 votes for the Pawnee citizens.
How do you tie on an odd number vote?
Okay, Will, just in case this is not clear for you as a newcomer to Survivor. Okay, so what's going to happen now? We will revote Joan and the Pawnee citizens will not vote. You can only vote for Joan or the Pawnee citizens. This is a rare time, Mike, where we are not in danger of a deadlock tie because we will have 7 votes coming in.
No rocks will be drawn at this tribal council.
If there was, Will, you watched my season. If there were an even number and they were to vote again and it's still even, then everyone else draws rocks and Joan and the Pawnee citizens would be safe. But we have an odd number, so this is exciting, folks.
This is
Okay.
interesting.
The Pawnee citizens are lining up to complain.
I'm very excited to see who voted for little Sebastian specifically when all is said and done and like properly caused this entire kerfuffle to happen.
Yeah, we can't even blame Jerry for this. Okay. All right, first vote, Joan. Pawnee citizens. Pawnee citizens. Joan. We're tied.
Ooh.
Pawnee citizens.
Edge of my seat.
Joan.
Oh my God!
Okay.
This is going to determine it.
The deciding vote of who is going to go home next.
So close.
Somebody flip their vote to go to Joan.
She walks home with her 3 nude portraits of herself that she brought with her as her comfort items.
Not the first walk of shame for Joan Calamezzo as she walks out of tribal council. Okay.
All right, let's see how this happened.
April was a vote for the Pawnee citizens, as was Bobby Newport. Chris Traeger voted for Joan. Ralphie voted for Joan. Joan voted for the Pawnee citizens. Lil Sebastian voted for Joan. Oren voted for Joan. The citizens voted for Lil Sebastian.
Tom
voted for Pawnee citizens.
Wait, but who caused
the Pawnee
the tie?
citizens. The Pawnee citizens.
Probably the citizens. The stupid citizens voted for Lil Sebastian.
I mean, Joan ended up getting voted out, but if the citizens had thrown a vote onto Joan, then it just would have been a straight 5-4 vote.
Okay.
And April burned her idol.
Yes,
April wasted her idol, and it looks like that little 4-person alliance of Chris, John Ralphio, Oren, and Little Sebastian were the ones to force the tie against Joan, and were able to, and so they ended up splitting off from that 5-person alliance.
Yes. Okay, so it was the Pawnee citizens that really screwed up at that vote.
Yep, that's the theme.
In defense of April, she did play her idol sarcastically, so it didn't. I feel like she didn't lose too much power in the game. She played it so sarcastically that no one was really
I don't
sure.
even want this thing. It's stupid.
I also feel like the idol itself is not like macabre looking enough for her to want it. You know, it's not very haunting. And so she's like, I don't care about this thing. Get rid of it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So this is very interesting, Mike. We're going into our swap now with 2 tribes evenly matched of 8. But now we will swap to tribes of 5. We'll have 3 tribes of 5 here. Here we go. All right. So one tribe will have now 6 people. Okay. I was like, 3 tribes. I'm sorry, 3 tribes. One has 6. Hannah. How can I forget? Ikabula. Okay. All right. On the Mouse Rat tribe, new Mouse Rat tribe, they keep Chris, John Ralphio, and Oren, but here comes Ann Perkins and Ron Swanson.
This is a perfect draw for those 3 musketeers, right? For Chris, John Ralphio, and Oren. They were the ones that were in a bunch of alliances together. They voted together last time. And it does have a relationship with Chris, but we've seen how much of a curse it is to be in an alliance with the person that you are married to. So we shall see. But man, really good draw for these 3 guys.
And Ron Swanson still doesn't care and is just building a canoe out of bamboo.
Okay. On the Cones of Dunshire tribe, it's Crazy Ira and the Douche, Jerry, Lil Sebastian, Mark Brandanowitz, and Perd.
Wow. So first, all the legacy advantage and the Dunshire idol are still on the same tribe, and poor little Sebastian is overwhelmed here 4-1. But if anyone could work their way in, it's little Sebastian.
Right. Yeah. And Crazy Ira and the Douche and Perd had been feuding also. So
yeah, that's good.
We'll see if there could be a crack there for little Sebastian. And in the Entertainment 720 tribe,
the color of money.
Okay, with 6 players, we have April, Bobby Newport, Donna, Leslie Nope, Pawnee Citizens, and Tom Haverford.
Yeah, so obviously Donna and Leslie are outnumbered 4-2 here, but the tribe, the previous tribal council exposed, a big crack in the middle of things, where the Pawnee Citizens in particular broke rank and caused a bit of mayhem to ensue. So I don't think it's going to be as straightforward with any of these tribes as we initially expect.
Okay, all right. So this is when things are going to get confusing with our alliances. We have the 3 musketeers, Chris, John Ralphio, and Oren. They are still together. That is what's going on. That is the main story there over on the Mouse Rat tribe. Meanwhile, on the Cones of Dunshire tribe, we have the legacy advantage. We have Purd with the immunity idol, and then nothing doing here.
Why are people's photos blacked out?
If they're not on the tribe, they're in black and white.
Yeah, they tell us that little Sebastian is still part of an alliance with John Ralphio, Chris Traeger, and Oren, but they are not on this tribe.
Because that was my favorite thing about the Hearts of Reality website. If you decide you can't go, they black and white your photo instead of removing it, so it seems like you died.
Wow.
Yeah, we had this person. They canceled, but
they're dead, Chad.
But we remember them.
Yes. Okay. April and Tom are an alliance on this tribe, as is April and Bobby Newport.
Oh yeah, I forgot that Joan was part of that double date alliance. Has been dismantled now. It's just down to April and Bobby. But April is in a pretty good spot here, an alliance with Bobby and Tom, and she's in a brand new camp with a brand new idol too.
Okay, let's go to our immunity challenge here with these tribes of 3. The top 2 tribes will avoid tribal council, and our Ikabula Entertainment 720 tribe wins immunity.
Nice.
With our second place tribe of the Mouse Rat tribe winning immunity. So it is going to be that Cones of Dunshire tribe, the purple tribe. They will be going to tribal council tonight.
This is the one where they have to dive down for the buoys, and you have to imagine
this one,
Jerry's the David Wright in this, right? Like he's bobbing along, having a real bad time.
So so much so that similar to David Wright, someone on his team thinks he's throwing it, but he's not.
Okay. All right. Meanwhile, so here's what's going on back at the beach. Okay, little Sebastian is part of this alliance, but Oren has left this alliance. The Three Musketeers is no more, Mike.
Wow, D'Artagnan has left the building, or Orntagnan. Yeah, I mean, this makes sense. Look, Oren is somebody who's not really one to commit to anything. I think he's really tried to bring these guys into its production of Human Farm, and they really were not biting. So he's like, screw you guys, I'm skulking off into the darkness now.
He just stays under the shelter with his nails slipping in and out.
All of the infrared like night footage will just be like a slow pan, and then it'll go back and there's Oren just standing there, eyes glowing.
Crazy Ira and the Douche are impressing the rest of the team. Well, how about that?
It's mostly, again, just more, I think, more sound effects, or maybe at this point in the game they've like opened up a little bit, and we see like, these are 2 like intelligent, gentle men who have chosen a horrible career path. But actually, I get it. That feels really, really good.
But Rob, finally, it took almost 2 weeks in the game, but finally an alliance is forming on this tribe.
Yes. Okay. They did it. All right. The alliance is here, and it is. How about this alliance? Crazy Ira and the Douche, Jerry, and Mark Brandanowitz is an alliance. Hannah.
Yeah, I think this is a real game changer situation where they know production they're not production's favorites. So they decide to sort of band together and take out some of the more favorited people.
Yes. Okay. All right. Crazy Ira the Douche, Jerry, Mark Bandanowitz. That's an alliance. Okay. Let's go over to Entertainment 720 and see what's happening on that beach. Bobby Newport and Tom have a bond, Will.
I think they both, one has money, the other guy loves it.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I could see that.
Yeah, I think Tom is freaking out that he's on a tribe that is named after Entertainment 720. You know, that's got to be a big ego boost.
April and Donna.
Somehow Bobby has a fresh suit every day. And so Tom is wondering if maybe he can get like a hand-me-down, even if it's a little baggy.
Mike, April and Donna have a minor disagreement. Were they deciding who looks like what breed of dog?
Yeah, I think so. They were trying to do that with their new tribe members, and they kept arguing over, who would portray what, and it led into a whole breakout fight. But once they sang time after time together, it sort of helped build a bridge, but not completely.
Okay. And Leslie and Tom have a bond, Hannah.
Thank goodness, because Leslie made it back from her right
together.
Yeah, I mean, I think, they got matched up on a dating site once, even if Tom did create 20 profiles. And I think they're bonding over their one date together, and they were reminiscing. Okay.
All right. Let's go to our tribal council here for the Cones of Dunshire tribe.
This is interesting because I think it's going to come down to 2 people here. Lil Sebastian is obviously, the only person who did not start on the same tribe as these guys, but the alliance of 3 did not include Perd Hapley.
Hmm.
And Crazy Ira and the Douche has a bit of ops with Perd Hapley.
Perd has an idol too, Mike. Should Perd play his idol?
I think Perd definitely should, because I think there is a very good chance that he goes home tonight. Does he not play it?
The story of this tribal is, I'm still nervous.
Okay. All right. We know Perd has the Cones of Dunshire hidden immunity idol. If anybody has the idol, play it. Perd will not.
Jeff Probst, I do have an idol, but I will not be playing it.
Okay. Let's see what happens. First vote, Jerry.
Jerry voted for himself.
Yeah.
Lil Sebastian.
No.
Lil Sebastian's getting a lot of votes this season.
No.
Yeah, he really is.
Little Sebastian. That's two votes.
Is that because he's supposed to be dead and they're just trying to, complete the circle of life here?
Lil
That's
Sebastian, the tribe has spoken. All right. Hannah, can you cue up the bye-bye Lil Sebastian?
Absolutely.
Yeah. He's 1,000 torches in the wind.
Let's see.
Sad.
That's what's so great about this game. I mean, going into this, who would ever have projected that Terry would have been beaten by Lil Sebastian, that he would have lasted longer.
Yeah. You can't predict how these things are going to go. Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
A Maybelline commercial started playing before.
Oh, that's just the same thing.
Yeah.
I will have the song in a few seconds.
I wonder if Jerry also was getting a little bit of revenge on Lil Sebastian, because remember they blamed him for letting Lil Sebastian go at the Harvest Festival, so he's trying to get some recompense for that.
Yeah. Mike, in all seriousness, it looks like this came down to just tribe lines.
Yeah, it seems like probably there was a little bit of temptation on the part of the majority in this tribe to be like, well, we could get rid of Perd here, but I think that they're just like, you know what, let's keep cleaning house for now and play nice with Perd. But
They stayed Dunshire strong here.
In all seriousness, I'm glad you said that before we discussed how the horse got voted out of this game.
In all seriousness, let's talk about the mini horse's demise in a game of Survivor.
Yeah.
1,000
Okay.
candles in the wind.
There we go.
Here, don't play it. We're gonna get copyright strike on YouTube. Yeah, don't play it. Okay.
So the mouse rat trap is very appreciative that
you can
played
hum
that.
it. Yeah. All right. All right. Let's go to episode 6 of the season. Mouse Rat Tribe has 5 members. Cones of Dunshire have 4. Entertainment 720 has 6. They'll be able to sit 2 people out of the challenge. Okay.
Or more if it's the Pawnee citizens.
Yes. Okay. Meanwhile, we have our alliances here.
All right.
See, Oren is out. Yes.
Now it's Chris and Jean Ralphio together, which would make sense. I feel like of all personalities to deal with Jean Ralphio, Chris Traeger is probably one of the most patient. And so I do think it would make sense to have him be as close as Al.
A lot of positive energy there. Okay.
I can see this alliance ending with an adoption where Chris just actually adopts Jean Ralphio.
How is Henry Winkler going to feel about that?
Okay, let's go to our Cones of Dunshire tribe. Still the legacy advantage for Crazy Ira and the Douche, and Perd Hapley has the immunity idol. And the alliance of Crazy Ira and the Douche, Jerry and Mark Brandano, it's going strong. Bad news for Perd Hapley if they go to tribal council, but he has the idol.
I was going to say, bad news, not for Perd, for anybody else. This would be, as much as predictable as it may be, I would be most interested to see this group go to tribal council, because that means if Perd does indeed play the idol, he would have the lone vote to decide who goes, and that could be anybody.
Okay. All right. Let's go to Entertainment 720 and see what's going on there. April and Tom have a alliance from back in the day, and April and Bobby Newport have an alliance currently on this tribe. We'll see how this plays out if they go to tribal council here. Let's go to our reward challenge, and the Mouse Rat tribe is going to win reward. Baked goods, iced tea, and milk.
Okay. I think Chris is very excited about the milk in particular. I think he's ready to build some strong bones out there. I don't know how Ron feels about the baked goods in particular. I think he's waiting for that protein, waiting for that meat to come. I can imagine he's hunting anything that moves there on the island. I also think, who's the caller? Probably, what do you think? It was probably Chris or Ron is going to be the caller. This is the blindfold challenge.
I think Ron would be the ideal caller here.
I also think Ron maybe heard bacon goods instead of baked goods, and so played really hard. And then is just very disappointed at the reward challenge.
The Cones of Dunshire tribe wins some chocolate chip cookies. So Jerry is going to be stoked.
Yeah,
he was stoked, and then he tripped and dropped his
Drop the cookies.
dropped the cookies.
Okay, let's go now to the camp life here. Okay, actually no, we're gonna do immunity for Entertainment 720, and then Mousetrap Tribe wins immunity. So it will be that group
Wow.
of Purd,
Wow.
Jerry, Crazy, Ira and the Douche, and Mark Brandanowitz that will go to Tribal Council.
This is gonna get spicy.
Okay, Oren and Ron have a minor disagreement. I can't imagine that.
I think, I mean, listen, these two guys started on separate tribes. I think Ron is just weirded beyond all heck about this guy that he is starting to bristle with him a bit, having to live with him.
Okay. All right. And in our alliance of 5, April has finally left this group of Chris, John, Ralphia, Oren, and Tom. It was a matter of time. Will, they voted out Andy earlier on in the game.
Yeah. I think she had been harboring this grudge for a pretty long time. And I hope left with style. I think
Yes. Oh, wait. And this is huge.
Oh,
Ron has been
gosh.
medically evacuated from the game, Hannah.
Wait, where's Oren? Where was the last place people saw
Oh,
Oren?
no.
What happened?
What happened?
He had an injury.
I think Will is right. I think that Oren put a curse on Ron, and Ron has been using the machete a lot to build things, and the machete fell into Ron's thigh.
Wow.
But the weird
Dr.
thing was,
Joe,
well, Ron didn't tell anybody. Like, it took until
Ron-
Dr. Joe being like, wait,
Yeah.
where's your leg missing? And he's like, I don't know. I didn't
Ron
feel
is
it.
like whittling a peg leg.
Wow.
He was like, "It'll be
Wow. This
fine."
is a huge story right now.
Oh,
Ron
my
Swanson
he did not want
medically
to
evacuated.
I feel like there are
It's-
tears. Like people are. That's like a shocked moment because people didn't even know that he could feel pain. And then all of a sudden, here's the chopper.
Yeah, they had to pull him. He wanted to stay. All right. So Ron Swanson has left the game. Wow.
So we're going to keep going with these dynamics, but when we get to tribal council, it'll say Ron's being evacuated. Nobody's being voted out.
Okay. All right. So Crazy Ira and the Douche, that they will not have to vote, you're saying? So
Yeah.
Jerry is actually impressing the team. How's this happening, Mike?
I
What
must
a
be
weird
an
round.
alternate universe. Maybe Jerry decided to refashion some cookies out of he tripped and broke all the other ones. And so people are like, okay, that Larry, he's I mean, I think Jerry changed his name to Larry upon the tribes changing? Like, this
Yes.
is the new
Mhm.
Cones of Dunshire. He wants to become a new person. Also, despite their disagreements before, Mark and Purd are bonding slightly to the point where it actually looks like, if you scroll down, I think Mark has left this majority alliance.
Yes. Okay. So Mark has left the alliance. So now we have 2 pairs of 2 in this tribe.
Yeah,
Mark
I think so.
Brandon quits.
Crazy
The
Ira
alliance.
and the Douche with Jerry. And then Mark Brandanowitz and Purd Hapley.
Wow. So yeah, it really has broken down into, this would have been an awesome tribal council to see. We're not going to see it because of the cursed machete, as it were. But yeah, things are not as roped as maybe we thought with that tribe.
Okay. April and Tom have a small fight now, Hannah.
Oh my goodness.
It's a busy season.
Yeah, there's a lot is happening. I think April is just very angry. Similar to Courtney on Survivor China, she sort of found herself sitting in a puddle of mud and doesn't know how she got there. And is throwing out some insults, and Tom was on the receiving end of one and starts crying and doesn't take it well. They'll make up,
She
but
also set a small booby trap for him.
yeah.
So I feel like the argument also happens. He's sort of swinging in a little net, which that doesn't feel good for anyone. So I really empathize with him in this moment.
Okay. Meanwhile, Donna and Tom bond strongly. Mike, is this the Treat Yourself Alliance?
Yeah, they didn't win a reward, but they're still going to do it. They're going to treat themselves despite the fact they have a new camp and they won immunity. Like, they're going to find their own spa day, with stuff that's lying around. Sand is exfoliating, I hear.
All right. We're going to see April and Bobby's alliance dissolve. Oh, wow.
Oh.
April is just like kamikaze right
Whoa.
now.
That's what I'm saying. She's throwing out.
Fluid season.
It's real voting blocks going on, or trust clusters, if you will.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go to what would have been our tribal council here. Ron has been medically evacuated.
Wow. I
canceled
still
tribal
can't. I
council.
still can't. I was waiting for the family visit, went to find out which Tammy goes out there to see him. but we'll never know because Ron has to go get his leg reattached in the hospital.
Okay. All right, so we'll see one more tribal council to go before the merge here. Okay, let's take a look at this new look Mouse Rat tribe. No Ron Swanson. That's actually potentially very bad news for Ann Perkins, where if the former Musketeers vote together along tribe lines, Ann Perkins could be the person who gets voted out before the merge. Over on Cones of Dunshire tribe, we've talked about the 2-2 split between Crazy Ira and the Douche and Jerry versus Mark and Purd. And then the big wild card, the Entertainment 720 tribe, could go any number of different directions.
Yeah, this is going to be a big vote. This is right before the merge as well. Hannah knows firsthand how crazy a vote right before the merge.
This is the Michaela vote. Yes.
Yes, I remember.
All right.
Who's going to get blindsided?
All right, let's go to our back on the beach. Okay, we have the alliance with the Three Musketeers. I guess they're saying it still exists technically, but
this is sort of like I think they're sort of keeping up it's sort of like a divorced or a divorcing series of parents. They're like we'll stay together for Tom for when Tom comes back, but otherwise they're sort of Oren has separated himself.
And speaking of divorced parents, that's rough for Tom to have like another kind of green card marriage situation where he comes back to the alliance and it's all a sham. Poor guy.
Okay. We have the immunity idol for Purd, legacy advantage. Okay. And we have Jerry and Crazy Ira and the Douche. We talked about Purd and Mark Brandanowitz have a bond, but it's not technically an alliance. All right. And then over on the Entertainment 720 group, not a lot of alliances here. So let's see what happens. That could be a very messy tribal if they go. But in our reward challenge, it is going to be Mouse Rat that is going to win a reward. They win a visit from a chef.
Ooh.
Anna, did this happen in your season?
It did, but very rarely to me. I won one reward.
Yes. Which tribe got a visit from a chef?
Did. I believe the tribe with Michelle, Zeke, Chris.
Was that cut from the show? I have no memory of this.
I feel like that's when Michelle started talking about dragons, was after their chef, but I could be wrong.
Okay.
I've been wrong 1 or 2 times in my life. So
all right.
This could
and
be
some
one of those.
Kebabs for
Poor Jerry drops his kebab into his leg, though, and it spikes him.
And they say, don't end up like Ron. You got to get that covered up.
Okay, let's go to immunity challenge. It is going to be that tribe of 6. The Itabula
They
tribe,
win.
720. They end up winning immunity. They will not go to tribal council.
I'm glad because I feel like Leslie would have been the Michaela. I think she would have been blindsided and exploded.
Crazy Ira's tribe, the Cones of Dunshire is going to win immunity. So Ann Perkins, this was a bad draw because she could be the person who gets voted out.
I don't know. It could be they could join up against Oren, perhaps could force and could join up with Oren and force a 2-2 tie here.
Okay. John Ralphio and Oren find something in common, Will. Okay. So maybe could Oren be coming back into the fold?
It's
before this big tribal.
He is both incredibly estranged and has also never really left the fold. But his astral projection might be very much back into the fold at this point.
Okay. All right. Then John Ralphio and Oren have had a small fight.
Well, it was nice while it lasted. I think this happened probably in the course
easy come, easy go,
right? Like they find something in common, and then Oren does something very weird, and John Ralphio's done with it.
I'm worried because the last person Oren fought with, he cursed and ended up.
Oh no!
Yeah, this could be a crack for Ann Perkins potentially if John Ralphio and if we end up seeing where potentially this could open the door for the Musketeers to boot Oren.
I could see that. I could see sort of like 2 votes against Oren, maybe like a 2-1-1 thing, or and more with what's going on here.
I wonder if Oren's also finally going to speak up at Tribal. He's mostly just been communicating with very intense eye contact.
Yeah, Jeff gets really annoyed with Oren during Tribals.
Yeah,
he keeps being like, "Sit down, you can't stand by me."
Yeah, Oren doesn't get up and whisper. Oren doesn't get up and whisper. He just gets up and stands behind Jeff the entire time.
Okay. All right. Let's go to our Cones of Dunshire tribe. see if anything new is happening. Oh, it
See if
looks
anyone
like that officially now there's an alliance without Crazy Ira and the Douche. That's Jerry, Mark, and Perd Hapley.
Yeah, Crazy Ira and the Douche, they seem to just be turning people off. That made Mark Brandanowitz, Brandana quits that initial alliance, and now I think Jerry is pursuing other options as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Then on Entertainment 720, we have Donna and Tom now have a major fight, Mike.
Wow. I really do think they were trying to create the spa experience, but it just didn't work. Tom complained about it. Donna said, it was the best that I can do. And then Tom catches Donna, tweeting in the sand about how complaining he is, and they have a fight about it.
Yeah. Okay, and now Tom and the citizens of Pawnee have a major fight. Tom is just on a complete tear right now.
Well, he's hangry, right? Like you talked about it before. He was the one who could glam, could not rough it at all. So it makes sense that 3 weeks in the jungle at this point, he's like, I'm done. I can't do this.
He just keeps going up to people and going, Tommy has the Tom.
Oh, well, listen to
Rums.
this. After the major fight, the Pawnee citizens have shockingly quit the game.
Oh my God!
Wait, is this shocking though?
Wow, and
we're leaving. We quit.
Ann Perkins gets like an angel right now, and the Pawnee citizens being like, I don't like this game anymore.
Boy, this is almost like when people said that Jeff was too hard on Janu at Tribal Council, so Stephanie could be saved, Mike.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Perkins really is the Stephanie LaGrossa of this season. I agree.
They walk off as in protest of Tom's major fight. Will, can you ever imagine this happening in a Survivor simulation?
This was actually the only scenario I could imagine. I kept waiting for this to happen, and I'm glad that it finally did.
Yeah,
and
we're really we've gone through blindsides, we've gone through medevacs, we've gone through quits. Like, this is a good intro package for Will into what BrantSteele is.
It's also just, it's good TV, but the moment where they all leave, when they quit the game, it was cinematic, I thought. Reminiscent of Dunkirk, the fleet of boats required
Cones
to
of
get
Dunkirk.
the full population. Cones of Dunkirk.
Yes. All right. I'm quitting.
Yeah.
All right.
The recall Survivor chant as they left was really too much, I would say.
I will say, Hannah, I think we dodged a bullet because the Pawnee citizens at Final Tribal Council, I think, would have gone on and on and on for a while.
I think it really would have been a mess.
Luckily, there's no open forum at this Final Tribal Council, because that's essentially what the Pawnee citizens do, right? I also think
before the merge, though, too.
Well, that's the thing. I heard the Pawnee citizens
they
heard the word merge, and they remembered how much they hated the Pawnee-Eagleton merger, and so they're like, we don't want to do that again. We're done.
I feel like Survivor also maybe learned the lesson that maybe we shouldn't cast an entire town in the future. There's some issues with this. Yeah.
Okay.
So they're growing.
All right. So moving on from the shocking quit of the Pawnee citizens, then we will not have Tribal Council, and we will go to our merge of Survivor.
Oh my God. This pre-merge jury trip is what? It's Ben. It's Dury Merbles and August Clementine. It's legless Ron Swanson. It's the entire citizenship of Pawnee. This is just a giant group that is going to Australia. I don't think the bookers they didn't know what they were in for, and having to corral these people all over the place.
It's a big group. Okay. All right. Let's get to our merge. The Sweetums tribe. Here it is.
Brought to you by Sweetums.
Yes.
If you can't join them, feed them Sweetums.
Do you think it's a Sweetums merge feast? You think it's only just piles of candy? In which case, Andy is very unhappy.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's meet our merge tribe. It's Ann Perkins, April Ludgate, Bobby Newport, Chris Traeger, Crazy Ira and the Douche, Donna Meagle, John Ralphio, Jerry, Leslie, Mark Brandanowitz somehow has made it to the merge, Oren, Perd Hapley, and Tom Haverford.
Yeah, it really is Sierra Dawn Brandanowitz, right? Of what are they doing on there? And then they're going to make it into a position of power. But yeah, I feel like this is going to be a messy merge, because I think specifically in the Switch portion, we've seen a lot of new relationships forming that I think could, okay. So the
Jerry has found the reward steal, which is,
my God,
would be the most Jerry thing to do is somebody wins a reward and then Jerry will come along and steal it and then proceed to drop it.
Yeah, exactly. No, he'd pursue to like steal it, but like steal the wrong reward or steal it from the wrong person who didn't even win reward. This is a perfect. We wanted Jerry to get something, right, for maximum entertainment, and I think we found it here.
Okay,
Yes.
Jerry has the reward.
It will not win him any friends.
Crazy Ira and Douche have the legacy advantage. Mike, I believe the legacy advantage is eligible to be used in this round.
This or the finale. So, if the Crazy Ira and the Douche have prospects to make it to the end, they might not use it here, but it might not be a good idea.
And Jerry has the reward steal. Perd happily has the immunity idol. And let's check in with some of our alliances. We have the Three Musketeers with Tom Haverford. I guess are they four Musketeers now, Mike?
Well, I guess, I feel like the original source material of the Three Musketeers always had a fourth, right? It's just that the titular, the title of it was the Three Musketeers, and it was a bit of a misnomer.
Yes. Chris and John Ralphio are especially close out of that group. Crazy Ira and the Douche have an alliance with Jerry. And then there's also a side alliance from the post-swap Cones of Dunshire tribe, Jerry, Mark Brandanowicz, and Perd. The Entertainment 720 group comes in with no alliances at the merge.
Yeah, they were just so shocked that the Pawnee citizens quit. And of course, in the first challenge of the post-merge, Mark Brandanowicz, I think this is the one where you guys had to hold something above your head for a long portion of time, and Mark stands still as a statue and claims immunity here in the first vote of the merge.
Well, this is such a big edit for Mark Brandanowicz in this season.
Yeah, he's really turning it. He's really turning it around. He's putting all of his architectural background.
Nobody thought he could do it. Nobody thought he could.
He's playing like a city planner. He's coming in and he's playing like a city planner, and it's paying off.
Okay. All right. Let's go back to the beach. Okay. We know about the legacy advantage, the reward steal, Perd's idol. Meanwhile, April and Tom have a minor disagreement.
I mean, par for the course with Tom Haverford, right? Like, even when he gets some sweetums in his
tilt
belly,
right
now he's like on a sugar high. Like, now he's just bopping all over the place, causing disagreements to happen.
Yeah. Bobby Newport and Perd also have a minor disagreement.
Interesting. I wonder why that could be.
That feels like a thing where if your phone is on speakerphone and someone else has their computer audio on, and you get that feedback loop that goes forever. Like maybe Bobby Newport said something and Perd happily repeated it back to him, and they kind of got stuck in like a feedback loop.
I can see that. And April and Chris have a major fight, Hannah.
Oh my good. Well, she's so mad that he's started a showmance with Ann Perkins, her sworn enemy. That she puts him in the sort of Tom-esque trap and just says evil things about Anne.
I love that April's become like the Danielle Rousseau of this island, of just setting traps all over the place. Apparently,
yes. She's such good TV. She's really been such a big star this season.
In my opinion, she's been like the character of the pre-merge, and
playing a great game too. She's everywhere.
Okay.
Other than all her fights.
Hold on. This alliance of Jerry, Mark, and Perd has had a problem. Jerry has left the alliance. He is not in alliance with Mark and Perd anymore.
I think he felt bad for Crazy Ira and the Douche. Like maybe he has regrets about what he would have done had they gone to tribal council. So he decides to make amends and be like, that was a one-time thing. I'm just a simple family man. I don't want to get involved in too many alliances. One is good for me.
Okay. Merge vote coming up.
I'm a one alliance family man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right. We know Perd has the idol. The legacy advantage could be in play. Mike, anybody stand out to you as being especially vulnerable here?
I mean, so Chris seems to have a good amount of power, and if he is able to get enough people together, and considering the fight he just had with April, that might not be good.
Okay. All right. We know Perd has an immunity idol.
And we also know the legacy advantages.
And the legacy advantage. Okay, so Perd happily is going to use the hidden immunity idol on Crazy Ira and the Douche, despite the fact Crazy Ira and the Douche have the legacy advantage.
What? How is that? Wow.
Any
Sworn
votes
enemies
cast against Crazy Ira and the Douche will not count.
Once upon a time, Ira and the Douche's closest ally was voted out instead of Perd happily. And now they made their way back to it. This is like Jamal playing his idol on Nora. Idols make strange bedfellows of us all.
Wow. Okay. Here we go. All right.
Wow.
Chris Traeger.
Oh, no.
Chris Traeger. Jerry.
Voted for himself
Jerry.
again.
That's 2 votes for Chris,
Oh.
2 votes for Jerry. Jerry, that's 3 for Jerry.
This feels right.
Jerry, 4 for Jerry.
Yeah, Jerry on the jury feels like it's
Jerry,
a proper
5
phrase.
votes. Jerry, that's 6 for
Wow.
Jerry.
With the reward still in his pocket.
Jerry, the tribe has spoken. So
11 votes for
11 votes
Jerry.
for Jerry and 2 votes for Chris Traeger.
The
This makes
kebab
sense.
is still stuck in his leg.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what do you think? It was Jerry and Crazy Ira and the douche that voted
maybe.
against Chris?
And I don't know how Crazy Ira and the douche was able to convince Perd Hapley. Like maybe they thought it was either going to be us or Jerry to like play the idol
Yeah.
on me. But this makes sense, Rob. You talk all the time about how in these big merge situations, like you just need somebody to throw a name out, and the first vote is always pretty consensus.
Yes.
It seemed like this was the case here, where like enough people were like, okay, it's not going to be mean.
The first vote of the merge is always the Jerry of the group.
Mhm,
So it makes
yes,
sense that
perfect.
then Jerry gets voted out.
Perfect. And yeah, what an idol waste by Perd Hapley. He had that idol for almost the whole season.
Yeah, nobody's played the idol correctly so far. April wasted hers. Perd Hapley wasted his.
Yeah. Everybody's going to vote for Jerry except for Crazy Ira and the douche, and also for Jerry. So
Wow.
Crazy Ira and the douche could be in trouble.
Now,
All
do you
right.
think they all wrote down Jerry? Or do you think they all wrote down different names on the parchment? And Jeff had to do like the whole like Denver diva, whose name is this?
Yes.
Larry, Jerry.
And also,
Someone just wrote a jar.
we're making fun of him, but it was sad when he got lost in the wood, where his torch was extinguished and he got lost, so he doesn't get to say anything to the camera at the end. That was
That's
kind
right.
of kind of a
That's sad.
bittersweet goodbye. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
He was still
bittersweet.
looking for Ponderosa.
He goes to Ponderosa and the kitchen's closed. He can't order anything.
Okay. All right. Final 12. All right. The legacy advantage. Now, Crazy Ira and the douche have to wait to the final 6. I don't think they're going to make it, Mike.
I don't. There's a chance that they might. I feel like they might be dead men walking, plural, included. But knowing BrantSteele, that was too easy of a vote, right? I feel like much like Hannah's season, like the gloves will start coming off almost immediately with these couple of easy votes.
Okay. All right. Then we have our mouse rat post swap tribe with the Musketeers. Then we have a very strong alliance now between Mark Brandanowitz and Perd. You would think that the alliance would be between Crazy Ira and the douche and Perd after the idol play, but no. Mark and Perd is maybe the strongest alliance in the game.
I'm here for Perdanowitz. That's that might be like the ride or die pair in this game.
Okay. Let's go to our reward challenge. And this group of Ann Perkins, Donna, Jean-Ralphio, Mark, Oren, and Perd has won the reward.
Oh, wait, let's see.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. That I misspoke. Those are the teams.
Okay, Steve Harvey.
Yes. Okay, the group of April, Bobby Newport, Chris Traeger, Crazy Ira and the douche, Leslie, and Tom wins reward. Honestly, it's neither here nor there for what we're talking about.
I mean, it is safe to say, though. I mean, this aside from Anne, these are like all of our OG Parks and Rec characters left with Bobby Newport and Crazy Ira and the douche.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So it's a little bit like a nostalgic moment for them.
Mm-hmm. All right. In the immunity challenge, Bobby Newport is going to win immunity in this round.
Wow. Which immunity challenges? Oh.
Balancing a ball on a bow, Hannah.
Well, I feel like he has a big moment where he's like, my dad has immunity whenever he gets in trouble. I think
Yeah, that's exactly.
Okay. Let's go back to the beach, and we see that Donna has found the tribe hidden immunity idol.
I'm excited.
I love it. I love it so much. As long as it gets her one step closer to the family visit, so she can see Genuine, because that's going to make Tom happy. Like that's all we need right now. We know Crazy Ira has the legacy advantage. Donna has the idol, and it looks like something is happening with Leslie and Perd.
A strong bond, Mike.
Interesting. I think Perd sat down and decided to start to improve his social game by interviewing people. And I think Leslie was fine to sort of like get the opportunity to talk about her illustrious career up to that point. And I think despite it being a weird circumstance, they find something in common around it.
I think Leslie has so many good ideas how to make the island better, how to improve the infrastructure, how to just beautify it. So I think she appreciated the chance.
Yeah, is she going on like a press tour around the island about how to improve it?
Yeah, no one's listening, but she's speaking at different locations. She has a tour. Yeah.
Okay. Chris and Jean-Ralphio have a disagreement, and Chris has left Jean-Ralphio.
I think to a certain extent, he's a lost cause. You know, you can only guide him a certain extent. John Ralphio.
John Ralphio, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
to a certain point,
Okay.
even Chris is like, this guy is literally the most annoying person I've ever met.
Yeah. Do you think, Mike, that Chris was upset about getting 2 votes last time, and then John Ralphio was like, "Hey, don't worry about it"?
Yeah, I think he probably thought that John Ralphio was one of those votes. Like, I think with the
Maybe.
way that John Ralphio was acting, he's like, I don't really trust him. Why should I trust him? I don't need
Chris
to.
was very hurt. He was staring into the ocean, being like, "You are gonna be okay. This is not the end." Because I think to Chris, like, getting voted out is like death, and that's his biggest fear. So the fact that he even got a few votes really spiraled him.
Yeah, do you think he's like seeking console from Dr. Eliza, even though he's still in the game at this point? Like,
Absolutely.
what's the name of his therapist that he loves so much?
Oh my goodness. My mind went blank. Dr. Richard Nygaard.
That's what it is. Yeah, he wants his own Dr. Richard Nygaard.
Yeah, I think Dr. Liza is at every single one of Chris's confessionals, and he misses a lot in the game because he has like 10-hour therapy sessions each day.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Then a new alliance has formed here. Bobby Newport, Leslie Knope, and Tom Haverford. Will, Leslie Knope is always the diplomat. She's built a group here.
Yeah, it's an unlikely crew, but I think she also was able to maybe find some outsiders, sort of find people that maybe other alliances would pass up. So I think this might really strengthen her position.
Okay. All right. Let's see what happens when we go to Tribal Council here. Final 12. Donna has the immunity idol.
I would say, I don't know, Crazy Ira and the Douche could be an easy vote. I could also see, I don't know, votes could fall. Chris got votes last time.
Tom and April have been starting lots of fights.
Yeah, Tom has been starting fights in general with everybody, but he just got into an alliance with Leslie and Bobby Newport.
Okay, let's see how the votes come up. Donna is...
She's going to play the idol.
Going to play her idol. Okay, all right. So idol is played...
Is she going to purd it?
Okay. I really hope she's the first person to play it correctly, and she just gives everyone love.
This is the Kelly Wentworth idol spot, second vote of the merge. So we'll see if Donna plays her idol successfully. Let's get to the votes. First vote, Ann Perkins. Ann Perkins.
Oof.
Ann Perkins.
Wow.
Ann Perkins.
Wow.
Ann Perkins.
5 votes, Ann Perkins.
Mark Brandanowitz.
Oh.
Mark Brandanowitz.
Oh,
Could we see 6 votes for Mark Brandanowitz?
This could be
3
7
votes
5.
for Mark Brandanowitz. 4 votes for Mark Brandanowitz.
Yes.
5 votes for Mark Brandanowitz.
We need 2 more votes here.
6 votes for Mark Brandanowitz. 7 votes for Mark Brandanowitz. Ann Perkins, once again, has cheated death in this game as Mark Brandanowitz finally goes out of the game.
Wow. This feels finally so right. I mean, he won immunity. He had a bunch of big moments similar to his time on Parks and Rec, where he designs the park for Leslie and he has these emotional connections and then just leaves. I think this is the perfect story for Mark.
Great. We love it. Okay. Mark Brandanowitz is gone.
This is interesting, though. This is another. Yeah, this is a close vote. This was 7-5.
Okay, so the votes for Mark here, it was Ann Perkins, it was April, it was Chris Traeger, it was also then Crazy Ira and the Douche and Donna, plus John Ralphio, and Oren, the Ann Perkins crew. It was Tom, Purd, Mark, Leslie, interestingly, and Bobby Newport.
Oh, and so I guess that new alliance of 3, right? Bobby, Leslie, and Tom decided to side with Mark Brandanowitz. Maybe Leslie is holding a bit of a torch bill for Mark Brandanowitz. Purd decides to join in because remember the 2 of them were close, and they all join up with Mark here to put 5 votes against Ann. But everyone else, the 3 Musketeers, are still together here. They decide they were sort of the swing votes, and they decide to send Mark Brandanowitz packing here.
Okay, here we are down to our final 11 here in season Survivor.
What do you think Mark's exit press is like?
Oh, it's very quiet. It's very quiet. Some people there were some people that opted I'm good this week.
Yeah,
We're fine.
I only got written interviews with him. He sent in barely one sentence for every question that I asked him.
Yeah. Some people did the interview and then just didn't post it.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Tom Haverford is going to
find the idol.
The idol.
Wow, this thing keeps changing hands. We had 2 plays in the past 2 rounds, and now Tom has the idol in his very nicely manicured hands.
I mean, he was scared because he thought when he pulled it that another April trap was going to come up, but it was just an idol.
Yeah. Is that like what happened to Jamal in Island of the Idols? Is that like a trap where then you have to go and get punished by Rob and Sandra?
Yeah, and then Rob says, you ever seen a net on Survivor before?
Okay. Then let's go over to our reward challenge for this week. We have 2 teams for the reward. Anne is not picked. Ann Perkins cannot win the reward. She is left out of this.
Anne's had a rough couple days.
Yes. Yeah. April, Crazy Iron, the Douche, Oren, Purd, and Tom Haverford.
Oh, yeah, they're going to the floating pizza barge.
Yeah.
Oh, I went there.
Yes. How was it?
It was amazing.
Okay.
They all jumped off of the floating pizza barge, and I also did. But first, I used the bathroom, and the shot they used was without me. So everyone jumps off, and everyone kept texting me, where are you? And I had to tell everyone who texted me that I was in the toilet.
Yeah. Okay.
They also, on this reward, you get letters from home. So I think when we find out who wins, we have to decide who writes the letters to each person.
Okay, well, this is the group that won. April, Crazy Iron, Douche, Oren, Purd, and Tom.
Crazy Iron, the Douche, is it their station manager?
Yeah.
Andy writes a letter from the pre-merge trip to April.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't know who would write a letter to Purd Hapley.
Is there a Mrs. Hapley?
That's a great question. I don't.
Well, we know that Anne went on a date with Purd Hapley once. So
do you think Anne asked Anne to write a letter to him despite the fact she's still in the game? Is that what she does during the challenge? She writes a letter.
Tom
gets one from Lucy,
Tommy
right?
Assuming
that he's still with Lucy.
I just thought he gets a bunch of brand letters from products he orders a lot of. Thank you so much.
Dennis Feinstein writes a letter to Tom.
Just assorted sense. Yeah.
Okay. Let's go to our immunity challenge.
Sounds like maybe Oren didn't get a letter, but I think that's fitting. I think
he didn't want.
No, I think Oren got a Tic Tac taped to a piece of paper or something for his letter.
Okay. Leslie Knope has won immunity. Will
she needed a win? Yeah. What was this challenge?
So this is where you have to hold a statue at the end of the poll. This makes sense, right? There wasn't that one episode where she filibusters for an entire night. I think Leslie's very good at if she has the determination to stand in one place.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think she also did the intense eye contact of sometimes when people are doing challenges and they stay focused on themselves. I think she was sort of the turn, maybe the Chris element of just constant chatter. That might have been the thing that got her through.
Okay. All right, let's then go back to the beach. Tom has the idol. Chris Traeger and Purd have bonded slightly.
Okay, that makes sense. Again, Chris is a pretty, amiable guy. But Oren, after leaving the first iteration of the Three Musketeers, has now left the second one, finalizing his role in the game.
Okay, all right.
Better late than never.
Let's go to
also left a stuffed version of himself behind. In on the palette.
Or an after effect.
Yeah.
Okay. Our final 11 tribal council.
Now, this is where Chris Hammonds
the memorial Chris Hammonds tribal council.
So will Chris be voted out of the Chris?
Oh,
that's my biggest question. All right. Okay. Is he going to play it? Is Tom going to play it?
All right. Tom has the idol and he will not play it. He is keeping it. All the votes will count tonight here at the final 11. All right. Here are the votes. Purd Hapley.
Oh.
April.
Oh, no.
Purd.
Okay.
Oof, one of these.
April.
Ooh, 2-2.
April.
Oh, no.
Purd.
Oh.
3-3.
5 votes left.
April.
No.
Who flipped?
Purd. We're tied again. April.
Oh, no.
April.
Oh, that's
April.
it.
That's
7-4.
7 votes in April. The tribe has spoken. Oh, wow.
So maybe those three again, Tom, Bobby, and Leslie, voted incorrectly once more.
So here's the thing. I'm very upset, of course, that April has left. She's one of my favorite players out here. But I am looking forward now to her jury speech that I think is going to be, it's going to go down in Survivor history. It's going to be so mean. It's going to break the final three.
Forget snakes and rats. Like this has a whole new level.
Yeah. So it was Anne, April, Bobby, and the other purred vote was Leslie.
Oh, wait. So Tom broke away from his alliance. He voted out April.
Petty Tom.
That's true. They actually did have a fight. So,
yeah,
I think Tom saw a sinking ship or saw the opportunity to like take the final stab at April, because it still would have been 6-5 anyway. So I think he's sort of the Candace and heroes versus villains, like jumping off a sinking ship.
What did you think of that? The Candace and heroes versus villains. Will Survivor check-in with Will.
It was powerful.
Yeah, that's how I would describe it too. Okay, let's keep going.
Yeah. Okay. Just to check in with the most powerful alliance in the game. It's Tom. It's Purd. It's Oren. It's John Ralphio. It's Donna, Crazy Ira and the Douche, and Chris Traeger.
Yeah, I told you, Crazy Ira and the Douche are hanging on like a dingleberry right now after getting Jerry voted out a few tribal councils ago with the legacy advantage.
All right. Sweetums Tribe down to the final 10. Could we have a rock draw, Hannah?
Gosh, I hope so.
Okay, we'll see. After the last tribal council,
who would be the Zeke and who would be the me?
I don't know. We might have used up all our rock draws on the previous BrantSteele we did last week.
Perhaps. Okay. All right. Let's go and check in with what's happening at the tribe. Let's see. Nothing new to speak of.
Yeah, it looks
here.
like it's like 2 trios, both involving Tom Haverford and a bunch of random other people.
Okay. We'll split into groups of 3.
Oh no, this is the infamous
challenge.
sandworm challenge.
Yeah, Bobby Newport will not play, but automatically wins reward.
The David Wright of the...
Sounds like Bobby Newport.
He'll be joining Crazy Ira and the Douche, John Ralphio, and Leslie Nope for an aerial tour of the local area, followed by a Survivor feast.
That makes sense.
Now, what is so this was the challenge that Brett came out to Zeke and they had a beautiful moment. What is the equivalent of that beautiful moment in this group?
It's John Ralphio and Leslie, right?
It's that, or it's Crazy Ira and the Douche having that exact same moment with each other. I think could be, or they're just like, there's more than one gay guy on this, and then the other is like, yeah, there is.
Yeah,
it does.
But also Bobby Newport is also on the reward too. So that'll be it's 5 people. So it's just a very interesting experience. And you can imagine it makes sense because I feel like John Ralphio is so like lanky that he would naturally wriggle through the sand very easily.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you're right. Bobby Newport winning the reward without doing anything is peak Bobby Newport.
Peak Bobby Newport.
Great call, Mike Bloom.
All right. How about this? It seemed like destiny that Chris Traeger would be a beast in these immunity challenges, Mike.
I think it's finally time. Oh, you said
yes.
Mike, sorry.
That's fine.
No, I agree with Hannah. I think he's been lying in wait for a good portion of time. I think he saw Mark Brandanowitz get voted out. Maybe he decided to lay back a little in the pocket, but he's like, you know what? Screw it. I have to show how much of a peak physical specimen Chris Traeger is, no matter how long he lasts in this game, and he just decides to go into beast mode here.
Here's the thing with Chris Traeger, though. Even if he loses this season, Survivor will set up a different season where a physical threat can win their way back in.
Yes.
And it will be all set up for him to try to win.
But if you call season the edge of extinction, I don't think Chris is going on there. I think that's too scary for him.
Too scary. He's like, no.
Okay. All right.
This is so fun.
Back at camp.
I haven't said it in a while. If you're still listening, thank you so much for still listening.
Chris
I know
Traeger.
you probably don't do that. Oh, yeah.
John Ralphio. They have bonded slightly. They fought earlier, but now they're back together.
I think they maybe John Ralphio joined Chris's like workout regimen.
Yeah.
But like either side, because it's an island, right? So Chris would run all the way around and then meet up with John Ralphio, and it's just nice to have someone there at the finish line.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Perkins and Chris Traeger have an alliance.
Finally, they formalized it. Chris and Ann are officially in a pairing together on Survivor. This makes the most sense that anything has this entire season.
I think they waited since all the other showmances sort of got separated early. They
Mhm.
really held on to it.
Okay. All right. So let's go to our tribal council at the final 10. We know Tom has the idol.
I'll say this because Chris has won immunity. I think he's in a fantastic position right now.
Okay.
It just feels like everybody likes him. He's like good with a bunch of people, and he just made an alliance with Ann Perkins.
Okay. All right.
Plus, if history tells us anything, it's probably going to be a white dude that wins the season.
Well, yes, Chris, he's made that alliance with Ann Perkins. She is one of the people that was in that group of 3 that voted wrong at the last tribal council. So she really could use it. I wonder if Leslie Nope could be in trouble tonight.
Or Tom, if Tom feels like he gets caught for, having flipped on his alliance last time, he might play his idol.
Okay, all right. Tom has the idol, and he will not play it. Here are the votes. Ann Perkins.
Oh, no.
Leslie Nope.
Oh, no.
This is tough.
Oren.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Oren.
Okay.
Leslie Nope. 2 for Leslie, 2 for Oren, 1 for Ann Perkins. Oren.
Mm-hmm.
Ann Perkins. Okay.
Ooh.
So 3-2-2.
Leslie Nope.
3-3-2.
Leslie.
4-3-2.
Oren.
That's a tie.
We are tied. Leslie Nope and
4-4-2.
Oren. Okay. So it's fitting here at the final 10. We do have a tie.
So
there
which
were
of
2
these?
votes.
I feel like which of these characters I have to be Leslie probably. So Oren is the Zeke of it.
Yeah, I guess so. Oren is the Zeke.
Phew.
Maybe Oren has like a Zeke-esque mustache at this point. Maybe that's his island facial hair.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like, I think.
Let's revote here. We have 8 votes coming up. All
is
right.
it going to be rocks? We can only hope.
First vote is Leslie.
Okay.
Leslie.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Leslie.
no. Uh-oh.
Oren.
Okay.
Oren.
2 votes, Oren.
Oren.
Okay, ties 3-3.
Oren.
Oh.
Oren.
Wow.
Broken. Leslie.
Wow.
Nope. Goes to the brink. But it's Oren who goes home. And all of the listeners and viewers of this podcast breathe a very heavy sigh of relief.
Wow. And we don't even know if Oren is breathing at this point.
I feel like what should have happened is it should have tied again. They should have drawn rocks, and we needed Crazy Ira and the Deuce with the legacy advantage to get idled out.
It only makes sense.
Wanted to recreate
Okay, so this
it.
is interesting.
Bobby
Ooh.
Newport, he voted for Ann Perkins originally. He switched his vote to
So he
Oren.
was one of the throwaway votes for Anne.
Okay.
Oh, Chris voted for Oren, one of his former musketeers.
Let's see if anybody else. There was another
Leslie
person
voted
that
for
must have
Ann.
Switched a vote. Yes. Leslie voted for Ann, and then she didn't have to vote on the revote.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So it looks like if you want to scroll up just to see like how everything else broke down. So Perd, Oren, and then there were 2 more people who voted for Leslie.
Crazy Ira and the Douche.
And Anne, of course, voted for Leslie. And then the others, basically Sans, Leslie, and Bobby Newport voted for Oren. And I guess I don't know, maybe Chris and John Ralphio decided to just jettison Oren away. They said that it's time we finally got rid of this kid and started, flying solo in a manner of speaking.
Okay.
I think Oren will definitely get invited back immediately next season.
He's going to be one of the reunion like, Jeff goes, I don't understand it, but kids love you, Oren. Like, what's your secret?
All right. Crazy Ira and the Douche still have their legacy advantage. Tom still has the idol. We have our alliance of no Oren now. Of the 3 Musketeers are
yeah.
Chris,
Then we
John
have a
Ralphio,
new
and
3
Tom.
Musketeers.
And then Bobby Newport, Leslie, and Tom. Oh boy, Tom's playing hard.
But Bobby Newport almost led to Leslie going home, considering if he had thrown his vote onto Oren would have been gone instead of it being a tie.
Okay. Ann and Chris also have an alliance. Ann Perkins is going to win reward.
This is the loved ones visit.
Okay.
Oh,
she
the
is
loved
going
one.
to select loved ones for Chris Traeger, Donna, and John Ralphio.
This just makes sense. She wants to hang out with Genuine.
And Henry Winkler.
Or do you think Mona Lisa is John Ralphio's?
I don't know.
It definitely.
John Ralphio, as a twin, what's that experience?
Yeah. What about Chris Traeger's loved one?
His therapist,
Yeah,
Dr.
it's
Richard
gonna be Richard
Nygaard.
Nygaard.
Yeah, Richard
I'm
Nygaard.
about to introduce
Okay.
you to Dr. Liza.
Okay. All right.
Dr. Liza.
All right. And John Ralphio, he's well fed. He wins immunity here at the final 9.
Wow. I mean, do you think he comes up with his own little rhymes about it that he can't finish? He just has a tough time doing his own little raps.
Yeah. I could see that. John Ralphio, congratulations, winner of immunity at the
Yeah, it's
final
like-
9.
My name's John Ralphio. This challenge I won. It was so fun on Survivor.
Exactly. This is a big episode for John Ralphio. This might be like John Ralphio's like Adam Klein episode.
Yes.
You know?
Maybe he's like Tony, where he's was like basically like waiting to come out of his shell, and then the immunity challenge happens after the family visit, and now he's just gonna go crazy.
Mm-hmm. It's like the spy nest.
Yes. All right.
Thank you.
All right. Back
We
in
know all
camp,
this. Oh, an
Bobby
event.
Newport and Chris have a small fight. Will, what are they fighting about?
I feel like, this was bound to happen eventually. I think they're two really positive people. And I think the common viewer might not even have read as it might not have like read as a fight, but they both like out positived each other, like looking for the silver linings until there was like a snap between them.
Okay. Meanwhile, Crazy Ira and the Douche and John Ralphio have something in common. Mike, what a big episode for John Ralphio.
Yeah, I mean it's the hair, right? Like they all have the Jufros going on, so I think they're like sharing hair care tips. Like they're finding something in common with their mains that are growing more unruly by the day.
It really gets the hair, or just the fact that they're both the douche.
Yeah, very douchey. Yeah. Okay. Let's go to our final 9 tribal council.
Wow.
John Ralphio
boy.
cannot be voted for. Tom has the hidden immunity idol.
Is he going to play it?
He will not play it. Okay.
Wow. He's being a real pert about it.
All right. Here we go. First vote, Crazy Ira and the Douche.
Interesting.
Oh, no. They've
Okay.
been playing so well.
All right. Next vote, Leslie Nope.
No.
Oh no!
Okay.
Did she avoid danger again? If everyone votes the way they're
Crazy
supposed to.
Ira and the Douche. Leslie Nope. We're tied. Bobby Newport.
Okay. 2-2-1.
Bobby Newport.
Uh-oh.
What?
We're tied 2-2-2.
He did get in that small fight.
Bobby Newport.
Bobby!
Leslie, you should win.
Bobby Newport.
Oh
tribe
my
has
god!
Broken.
Blindside.
Wow.
Bobby Newport.
He goes, I'm relieved to have been voted out.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Wow.
What was this
Let's-
breakdown, Rob?
Yeah,
hit us
let's
with the
see.
breakdown,
Let's see what
please.
happened here.
Anne
So-
is really holding a grudge against Leslie. She's voted against her the past 2 tribal councils.
Okay. All right. Ann Perkins was a vote for Leslie Nope. Bobby Newport was one of the votes for Crazy Ira and the Douche. Chris Traeger voted for Bobby Newport.
Right. They had a
Crazy Ira and the Douche voted for Bobby Newport. Donna voted for Bobby Newport. John Ralphio voted for Bobby Newport. Leslie voted for Crazy Ira and the Douche. Perd voted for Leslie. And Tom voted for Bobby Newport. So
What
it
is
was
Tom doing? He's supposed to be in an alliance with these people, and he
yeah,
just
but
keeps
he's part of
voting
the Three
against them.
Musketeers. He's part of the Three Musketeers with Chris and with John Ralphio. And then Donna is with them. And then I guess they just picked up Crazy Ira and the Douche.
Wow. Completely flummoxed. At least I don't think Bobby Newport's as flummoxed as much as Leslie is, though I guess it would have been her, so she's probably like thanking her lucky stars, but still she thinks like this is definitely, the spy stuff from Triple H, right? Where Leslie goes back to Tom like, Tom, I can't believe it. And Tom's like, I can't either. Oh no. But he's actually playing undercover the entire time.
All right. Let's just check out our final 8 here. Ann Perkins, Chris Traeger, Crazy Ira and the Douche, Donna, John Ralphio, Leslie Nope, who from her very first tribal council has been getting votes. Somehow she's still here. Perd Hapley and Tom Haverford. Great final 8 here in this season.
Yeah, I will say, it was a little tragic. The pre-merge was a little tragic in the people that we lost, but I think it's been a pretty good streak.
pretty
here on
good final 8
Is
here.
there a Is there a favorite now going into the final 8? We know Chris Traeger's kind of killing it.
I think from a strategic perspective, I think Chris is really there. I think from like an underdog perspective, it's Leslie.
Yeah.
And I think from like a hot mess perspective, it's Tom.
Right.
Yeah, John Ralphio's a great villain.
I think.
Yeah.
I mean, Tom Haver, I think he's just like playing. He's playing with an eye on the edit of like having like I want to make a good.
He's an influencer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is teaching time with Tommy.
All right. So we have our alliances, the Three Musketeers. Leslie, Nope, and Tom have an alliance.
Star-crossed lovers.
As do Ann Perkins and Chris Traeger. Let's go to our immunity challenge. Crazy Ira and the Douche have immunity now.
Yeah, this
The
is
Wizard Staff.
the sped up episode where this was the Will and Sunday episode.
No rewards. Okay. All right. So back at camp, Crazy Ira and the Douche have the legacy advantage. That can be played in 2 tribal councils. Tom has the hidden immunity idol. Leslie and Tom have a major fight.
I think
no.
Leslie finally figured it out. I think she found out who the vote was and that Tom was betraying her.
Yeah. Okay.
It should be clear too that this is a physical fight. This isn't like an argument.
But it's one-sided. Like Leslie is beating the crap out of Tom.
Yeah.
Tom's like, no, please stop.
Yeah, it's similar to when Leslie and Tom are fighting in his like hot tub thing on the show. She just keeps like dunking his head underwater.
Okay. All right. So Tom has had like his 9th fight of the season. All right.
Yeah, he is really just causing so much havoc.
Hey, new alliance happening. This just in. Perd Hapley has an alliance with Ann Perkins and Donna Meagle. I believe Perd Hapley and Ann Perkins both voted for Leslie at the last tribal council, Mike.
Yeah, this could be a thing where like maybe the 3 of them are like, look, we're not really a part of like the main, the main decision makers here. There's 8 people left. Let's see if we can survive this vote, and then we can take the power. This could be a final 3 here.
Okay, but it's 8. You need more than 3. You need more than 3. So let's see what happens.
Will Tom play his idol after his fight? Does he feel shaky enough to play it?
Okay, so Tom has his idol, and he will not play it.
Wow. He's really like Jay here. Like he might get tricked into playing it next time.
Okay. All right. Here are the votes. Ann Perkins. Chris Traeger.
Oh, no. We might have jinxed Chris.
Leslie Nope.
No. Of course. It wouldn't be a tribal council without votes going for Leslie.
Leslie Nope.
Oh, no.
Leslie Nope. That's 3 for Leslie.
Oh, no.
Leslie Nope.
That's it.
The tribe has spoken. 6 votes there for Leslie Nope.
Do you think it was just a matter of like, well, she's been so like she has a great story building. We're looking at the end now. Anne finally votes the correct way in voting out Leslie.
Yeah, Anne votes for Leslie every tribal council.
I think there were lots of conversations that were like, who can beat her at the end in the final 3? She's the protagonist of our show. Yeah, who can?
Yeah, she's at the front of the poster.
Yeah.
We don't want her at the front of the DVD box.
Yeah, so it looks like, I'm assuming it's the 3 Musketeers plus that new alliance of Anne, Donna, and Perd all joined together to vote for Leslie.
Crazy Ira and the Douche voted for Chris Traeger. All right. Final 7. Okay, we're getting there.
Wow. So yeah, and this is interesting because now we have like 3 pretty like in sand pairs with Crazy Ira and the Douche as maybe a swing vote between the 2.
Also, similar to the original season, oh wait, never mind. There's 2 women left. I for some reason I only saw Donna.
Okay.
Well, that might be the case though. If one of them gets voted out next vote.
We have our 3 Musketeers. Okay. Chris is the only person. Well, he's in 2 alliances. He's in with Ann Perkins, and then Ann Perkins is also in an alliance with Donna and Perd. Everybody might be asleep at the switch while Ann and Chris are sort of ending up in the finals
Our
together.
couple.
Yeah. I sort of like that. I like the read more though that they like have side alliances. Like they're loyal to each other, but on the side they're like, no, I have my boys and I have my
you
Donna
get your
and my
people.
Perd.
I'll get my people. This is very smart. Okay. All right. Crazy Ira and the Douche, nowhere to be found in this alliance.
I just need to make it one more tribal council and then they can play that legacy advantage, though.
Yes. Okay. All right. And John Ralphio is heating up. Second immunity in the row for John Ralphio.
Do you think Chris is getting angry that John Ralphio, of all people, is beating him in these challenges? Do you think that training program's been working too hard?
Yes.
Trained him too well. The student has become the master. All right. Let's go back to camp and see what's happening. All right. Ann Perkins and Chris.
Oh,
Ann
no.
has left the alliance. They broke up.
Wow. It's a
broke up
John and
again.
Jacqueline situation, Rob. 5-hour fight at camp, though Ann doesn't realize, Chris doesn't realize that they're in a fight because he's just so darn positive. But Ann says, I'm done with this, at least for now. Like, you have your bros, and clearly you treasure them above our relationship. So I'm going to have to leave you.
Well, I think this puts Ann Perkins on the chopping block here tonight.
Definitely.
Well, especially now that Leslie's gone, like, you'd think that she's like, okay, now votes will be directed onto me because Ann and Leslie had each other targeted for the past, like, 3
Right. It was sort of
tribal councils.
Stephen Fishback, Joe England. It was all.
Exactly.
Okay. all
Will,
right.
Survivor check-in, references. How you doing?
Powerful. Yeah.
Great.
Everything's powerful.
Okay.
I found my groove.
All right. Tom has the immunity
As
idol.
we play it, we're at final 7.
Is playing the idol on Chris Traeger.
Wow,
Whoa.
that's real. That's really displaying something that he's saying. I'm at the final 7. I'm going to play this on Chris Traeger.
Boy.
Chris has built some great relationships.
Chris is playing the best game right now, in my opinion.
And then Tom just played an idol on him. Okay. All right. Let's see how the votes come up. First vote,
Let's be used correctly.
Chris Traeger.
Okay,
This
well,
vote-
I think this is actually the actual first vote negated in this season.
This vote literally does not count.
I'm literally
Second vote.
so happy right now.
Yes. He's literally immune from votes. All right. 3
Chris
votes for Chris Traeger. So this was a good idol play by
Doing
Tom.
push-ups.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
Fourth vote, Chris
Wow.
Traeger.
Wow.
Chris would have
If
gone
the
home.
Musketeers voted together, they'll determine who goes here.
Crazy Ira and the douche.
Oh, the legacy advantage.
Crazy Ira and the douche. And Crazy Ira and the douche, the tribe has
Who will they-
spoken.
who
The
will they
legacy
give it to?
advantage will go unplayed.
I think
But they have
Do you
yeah.
think they'll give it to Chris?
They have to assign it. Okay. So that's exciting also.
Yeah, so we'll find out. Or actually, no, I think if you proceed, it'll tell you.
Okay. So
Oh wow, Anne voted for Chris. She was
yes,
really
those
pissed off at him.
alliances. I think that we know what the fight was about. It was like your people versus my people, and ultimately Anne
was able to swing over Crazy Ira and the douche, but it didn't matter because Tom had that idol.
Yeah, wow, this is great drama. Okay, so I think we know how this went. The Musketeers voted for Crazy Ira and the douche, and then they were like, yeah, that doesn't matter. Tom, you play your idol on me. We know where the votes are going. Ann Perkins probably revealed that to Chris in their argument.
Yeah.
They knew what to do, and then ultimately, the group of Ann Perkins and Donna and John Ralphia, or Donna and Perd, were thwarted.
Wow.
Where does the legacy advantage go? That's what I want to know.
It looks like Crazy Ira and the douche. Give it to Anne.
Ann Perkins should be
Wow.
safe once again. Boy, if Ann Perkins could win this season, what a miracle
9
run. She
lives.
should have been voted out before the merge, if not for the people of Pawnee walking off the show. She would have been voted out that night.
Yeah, she really does have Stephanie LaGrossa.
Now,
upside
in the
here.
real show in Parks and Recreation, Anne does not make. She's in the finale, but she leaves before the final season. So I'm going to be very interested to see.
Okay.
Wow. And this is the other thing, though, is that we have 2 groups of 3 here. Crazy Ira and the douche, they were the swing vote. So even though, Anne's side lost out, it's still 3 versus 3 right now.
I feel like we've got a great final group here.
Yeah,
I
this is
feel
a
good
really
about this final
six.
6.
All right.
Yeah.
Ann Perkins has the legacy advantage. She has to play it here at the final 6, Will.
This, guys, this is the finale.
Yeah,
This
we won't
is
spoil
the
you on
red
the finale,
carpet.
Will.
Okay.
This
All right.
these are the, oh my goodness. Yep, we
The
know
3
the
Musketeers,
alliances.
Chris, John Ralphio, and Tom have a airtight alliance, 8 strength that is very strong in BrantSteele. There is a second alliance, Ann Perkins, Donna, and Perd. We could be almost certainly going to a vote that would be 3-3, and it'll come down to the idols and advantages. Potentially,
Tom has an idol, right? And
Tom has an idol.
Tom just used his idol.
I'm sorry. So yeah,
Oh, right.
Somebody probably will find the idol. Ann Perkins has the legacy advantage, and somebody will be immune. So that will really color this tribal council. Okay.
Well, it's a guaranteed non-advantage Genin, though. But it's
Perd wins immunity.
Yes, we have this just in. Perd has won his first challenge of the season.
And I believe this is a reward challenge, too, because he gets to share it
Who's
with
coming
two
to
other
dinner?
people.
Should be no surprise. His alliance. Ann Perkins and Donna.
This is the steak dinner, right? In the woods.
Yes.
And if Jerry was here, he could have stolen that reward and then brought Perd on the reward with him.
Okay, so Perd can't be voted out. Ann Perkins can't be voted. If Donna can find the idol when they get back to camp,
they're aligned. They get 3 amigos. This
could be a clean sweep, sending one of the amigos home for sure. Okay, let's go back to camp. We have our legacy advantage. We have our alliance of 3, but Ann Perkins now has left the alliance. She's a free agent.
I think she's like, I'm safe.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care at this point. Maybe she's so angry at Chris too that she's not seeing straight.
Or she could be rejoining him.
I don't know. It looks like we have another alliance forming.
She will be joining the
Amigos.
She's joining the Amigos. Donna's screwed. Donna's so screwed.
Yes.
Oh no, but there's still an idol.
Yes.
But it would have said if somebody found one here.
The idol has not been found. So
did anyone find a fake idol that David Wright left at this point in the game?
Not yet. This could be trouble for Donna here at the final.
I think this is it for Donna.
Okay. All right.
Or Perd, I thought.
No, Perd is immune. Perd had won immunity.
Perd won immunity, right?
Yes. Okay. All right.
Wow.
Ann Perkins has the legacy advantage. Ann Perkins will play the legacy advantage.
Yeah.
Ann Perkins cannot be voted out.
I don't even think it matters.
The Crazy Hour and the Douche are still so pissed off they were 1 vote away from being able to use that thing after having it since day 1.
Yes. All right, here come the votes. First vote, Chris Traeger. Donna.
I think Donna's screwed, yeah.
Donna.
The question is,
Perd
did
jump
Perd
on too? Donna.
I think Perd did jump on.
Chris Traeger. No. He's loyal. He's a loyal guy. Okay. And Donna, the tribe has spoken.
A great run for Donna.
Great one for Donna, but man, Ann sniping Donna. Like, that is not a good person to send to the jury.
But I also don't understand. I mean, Ann is at the bottom of the Bro Alliance now. This feels strategically like a questionable play.
Unless Chris convinced her, like, no, you're guaranteed final 3. Because that's the thing. If they make it to the final 4, if they vote out Perd next, then he can be like, I'll force the tie with you. I'll vote with you. Like, we're guaranteed to sit at the end together.
The strategy of this Parks and Rec game.
Yeah, I just wonder if did Ann feel like she couldn't beat Donna or Perd in the final 3? Because I feel like that she has a pretty good story. If she goes to the end, why not go to Rocks? And she's got the legacy advantage.
Yeah, she had no.
Perd was immune. Only Donna had anything to lose. And guess what? If they can't break the 3-3 stalemate, then somebody from the other side, they just played this round very poorly.
I feel like Donna was probably playing an incredible social game. It was quieter, but like you didn't see it. And I just think Donna had the jury cracking up. Like, I think she was winking. She was, I think we're not seeing everything.
But I know Donna's the only player who is already a millionaire, right?
That's true.
So she's already.
She's got the condo in Seattle.
But then you would think though that she'd be perfect to bring to the end, right? Because like especially in the show that's about like pulling yourself up by your bootstraps. Like, who's gonna vote for the already existing millionaire? But I don't know. This was Ann's decision to make, and I wonder if it's gonna pay off well for her here.
Okay. All right. Let's go to our final 5. Okay.
And there will still be an idol out there. This is the last time you can play one. But we saw in your own finale, Hannah, how one person, without spoiling, was able to find an idol.
They're probably not going to rehide
round.
the idol at the final 5, though, right, Hannah? Probably not. Yeah. Okay.
No, they did in her season.
I know.
That's why I said you would think.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's go and check out what's going on here with these alliances. Okay. We have the 3 Musketeers. Then there's also the 3 Musketeers with Ann. That these guys, they have an alliance without you that is stronger. Okay. You're being played, Ann. Okay. Let's go to our immunity challenge here, the final 5.
Important immunity challenge for Perd.
And Chris Traeger in a tight spot wins immunity. Cannot be voted out.
I mean, there's still an element here. We go back to camp and there's an idol. You got to imagine that everyone's hunting for it, right?
Yeah.
Perd's already had one. Tom's already had one.
Again, I know Donna was good with the jury, but we talked about what a great game Chris has played, and this was a great opportunity to put votes on Chris. He was immune at the last tribal council.
He's also pretty balanced. I mean, he's had a really good social game, and especially at the end, he started really pulling ahead on immunity challenges. I feel like he has a streak going.
Okay. Let's go to the beach. All right. John Ralphio and Tom are having a bond here, a very strong bond here on day 36?
Yeah, they're finally like, oh my God, we're finally going to make it to the end. But trouble in paradise for this new alliance.
Ann Perkins has left the alliance again.
Ann, what are you doing? Oh,
Ann, are you in or out?
But are you in or out? But I think there might be something else forming. Another alliance.
John Ralphio and Perd, this just in. Wow, what is this about?
John Ralphio trying to make like a late break for the game here?
I don't know. Well, but guess what? This just in. Ann Perkins is getting voted out tonight.
I don't know. At this point, she might be a goat if she's like leaving alliances all the time.
Ann Perkins has foobarred this end game up so badly. She was she was in such a good spot.
Yeah, she was in a very clean spot with Perd and Donna, felt threatened by Donna's social game, jumped, but then she was in a solid spot with 4, and maybe she sensed she was on the bottom and decided to leave, but at this point, I don't know what Ann's doing.
Okay. All right. Let's go
so this is going to be very interesting because you would think,
idols.
Presumably, okay, it's going to be Perd, but Perd just joined up with John Ralphio. So if John Ralphio could convince the other 2 musketeers to vote for Ann, then indeed Ann might go. But, maybe Chris will want to protect Ann as well. I also think Will brought up this interesting thing about, Chris sort of being a big threat in the game. I wonder how much like John Ralphio and Chris are sort of like the Wendell and Dominic thing of we've been partners this entire game, but I don't know if I can beat you in the end. So when should I get rid of you? Like, I wonder how much they're going to contribute to their own detriment if they sat in the final 3 together.
Will, Survivor reference, how you doing?
I'm keeping up. Yeah, I know. I inexplicably watched Winners at War, so it's all familiar.
Okay, let's go to our tribal council here at the final 5. All right. No idols are in play. First vote, Perd, Hapley. Ann Perkins.
I think Ann's.
Ann Perkins.
Yeah.
And you screwed yourself.
Ann Perkins.
Yeah, unanimous.
Ann Perkins, the tribe has spoken. Boy.
Wow.
Real final destination situation for Ann Perkins. She couldn't cheat fate for eternity. She
crashed
eventually
and burned.
Yeah, she really misplayed this. She was in such a good spot. Her and Chris Traeger, they were working where they each had their 3. And she got willed the legacy advantage from Crazy Ira and the Douche. Perd won immunity. All they had to do was put 3 votes on somebody from the other side. Instead, she flipped and switched and then got voted out at the very next tribal council.
Yeah, I think her exit press is just like 20-page articles trying to explain herself.
Yeah.
And
Rob, you're doing like a 5-hour deep dive with her.
Yeah.
And maybe worst of all, Donna is waiting at Ponderosa to really rip her
not
a new
going to
one.
be a
this is going to put Crystal Cox or Cass to shame, in terms of awkward reception back at Ponderosa. You screwed up my game. What the hell were you doing?
Ann Perkins, really bad job. Okay, let's go to our.
Even Perd. Perd is now bros with the 3 musketeers here, but he needs to win immunity here.
Yes, he could potentially get John Ralphio to go with him on maybe go 2-2 for some reason, but we'll see. We'll see. Okay, big immunity here at the final 4, Hannah. All right,
it's exciting.
All right, let's see the winner of immunity here at the final 4. Actually, we'll go to the beach one more time, and we have our alliances, an official alliance now between John Ralphio.
Oh, yeah, that can make things interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and see our immunity challenge winner, and it's going to be Tom Haverford.
Whoa!
Wow, he needed it, and he did it.
Wow!
All right. So Tom will have a spot in the final 3 and make his case to the jury.
That's amazing. This is best possible outcome to have Tom do his like extravagant presentation with like blaring strobe lights and
Tom Haverford.
Yeah, EDM music.
Okay. All right.
How did he make a PowerPoint?
Okay. He made it with paint and has a whole
Exactly.
bunch of different slides. All right. Let's go to our final four tribal council.
All right. Yeah, I mean, basically, it's either going to be Perd or Chris, right? Because if John Ralphio votes with Perd, they can only vote against Chris.
All right. Let's see what happens.
Who will be the fallen angel?
Chris Traeger. Perd.
Let's see.
Perd Hapley, the tribe has spoken. So, yeah. Ann Perkins screwed it up for her whole group of three. They go out back to back to back. Donna, Ann Perkins, and Perd. And the Three Musketeers make it to the end. And we have an all-male final three here in the park. Even the Parks and Rec season, Hannah.
Yeah, that could have. Yeah, it's still Survivor.
But it's
Survivor.
It's actually a little akin though to what happened on Hannah's season, right? Where it was like the 5 people who voted together during that infamous rock draw vote all got voted out one right after the other. It just so happens that the 3 amigos were able to take a grip. Chris did a great job of convincing Ann to flip, and the rest was history.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We're looking at an exciting final 3.
It's Tom, it's Chris, and it's John Ralphio that are going to be the final 3. They're going to face a jury, maybe a bitter jury here of Ann Perkins, April Ludgate, Bobby Newport, Crazy Ira, and the Douche, Donna, Jerry, Leslie Knope, Mark Brandanowitz, Oren, and Perd Hapley.
I gotta say, this is actually a really fun final 3, just looking at them as Parks and Rec characters as well. To have Chris, Jean Ralphio, and Tom. To have Chris sitting there with the 2 members of Entertainment 720 in the final 3 is pretty damn magnificent.
Yeah, Hannah, and they've all played different games to get to this point.
Very, very different games. I mean, Chris has been a real leader in all his alliances. He's played an excellent social game with the jury. I don't think he got in any fights. Tom has played a wild game. I mean, he's gotten in so many fights, but when he needed it, he won immunity. He got in the 3 amigos.
But he was also like a little weasel. Like he got in with that other alliance with Leslie and Bobby Newport and flipped on them like 2 or 3 times.
And then John Ralphio, who really like played up his goofiness to, his advantage, but then won a bunch of immunity challenges. Also 3 real contenders. I mean, looking at it, it's hard to say.
Will, how do you see this one breaking down?
In terms of votes, we're talking votes?
Yeah, who's got this?
I mean, I think like Tom was so unpredictable and chaotic, but it feels like overall Chris has played such a strong game kind of from day one. And in terms of like balance, it seems like he's going to be able to make a case that he's kind of done it all. I feel like John Ralphio he'll be like the favorite and then will somehow dig himself quickly into a hole.
I feel like John Ralphio is going to like crash at this final tribal council. Like I think they're going to start asking me, he's like, I don't know. And then he'll try to like escape at one point. He'll try to fake his own death and then Jeff will corral him and bring him back. Like, I think he'll tank it. I think it's between Chris and Tom right now, but I think,
Mike,
I think
you've seen enough of these BrantSteele final tribal councils. What's your prediction?
I mean, literally, because it's BrantSteele, and specifically when it comes to the final outcome, it could literally be anybody. But honestly, like, it's either going to, in my opinion, come down to like the most solid, reliable game and the most out of this world, like, wackadoo game. So I'm going to go with the latter because it's BrantSteele, and we've already had like a medevac, a quit, a near rock draw.
Yeah.
I think this might be Tom's here for no particular reason.
Yeah, I think it's Chris. Let's see. Let's go to our final tribal council.
I think this one they'll read the votes one by one.
Yes, I believe that was the case.
Exciting.
Yes, I'll make the screen a little bit smaller so we don't see too far ahead. Okay. All right.
So now it's live. We're back in San Francisco. Is that what's going on right now?
Yes. Okay. We'll go back to
we're going to Indianapolis.
Yes. All right, we're back here live in Pawnee, Indiana. Okay. All right. Let's wait for the winner to be revealed. All right, let's see our jury votes. Again, you're voting for the winner, Jerry. Got it? Okay. All right, here are the votes for the winner. Chris Traeger.
Okay.
John Ralphio. Tom Haverford.
Okay, nobody's
everybody's on the
gonna
board.
get shut out here.
Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Tom.
Wow.
Chris.
Okay, 3 to 2 to 1.
Like Mike predicted, it's really coming down to the 2.
3 to 3. Tom.
Oh my God! It's
the winner, Tom Haverford. You are the winner of Survivor Parks and Rec.
Oh my
Wow.
God! Bring in desserts. Bring in the chicky parm. It's on Tom Haverford, the newest millionaire.
Yes. Okay. Let's see who were the Tom votes on this jury. It turns out Ann Perkins. She would not. That maybe she was upset with Chris Traeger.
And maybe she was
betrayal.
embracing that much maligned storyline where the two of them were romantic items for a period of time.
April voted for Tom. Bobby Newport voted for Tom.
Did you talk about all the entrepreneurial ideas he was going to invest the money in his final speech?
Yeah, because someone would ask, like, what are you going to do with the money? And Tom's like, I'm so glad you asked.
Yes. Crazy Ira and the Douche voted for Tom. Donna voted for Tom. Jerry was the one vote for John Ralphio. Leslie voted for Tom. And then it was Mark Brandanowitz, Oren, an original Musketeer, and Purd voted for Chris.
Wow, what a speech.
Looking for a new cult leader. I was like, actually, Chris would be pretty good at this.
Yeah. Wow.
And I think, Jerry thought he had to vote out one more person as a jury member and voted for John Ralphio.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks like Tom's old alliance, Bobby Newport and Leslie, despite turning on them, they admired what he was able to do. And so they voted for him. And Purd wins the fan favorite award.
Favorite of the award is Purd Hapley.
That's the Rick Devens comparison right there.
Yes. And then Jeff Probst brings Purd on stage and says, Purd, are you going to quit your job? And Purd goes, yes. And then he doesn't offer him a new job. Just like he did to Rick.
Okay. All right.
Wow.
The winner, Tom
and then is the
Haverford.
face that Tom makes after he wins, right? He looks straight at the camera and gives that happy dog face.
Yeah, it's a great job by Tom. For Chris, a great game for a non-winner, Mike.
I think one of the best non-winner games that we've ever seen. Very solid, tied with John Ralphio for the most immunities. I barely only got votes against him towards the end. Had John Ralphio under his wing the entire time, but I do think
think the mistake was Ann.
Yeah, I think also as erratic as Tom's gameplay may have been, what he was able to do did earn, I think, a lot of the favor of some of these jury members. Yeah. Plus, I can imagine that him winning that final immunity, he was able to probably puff himself up a little bit right before final tribal council.
Mike, don't forget at the final 7 when Tom Haverford played the hidden immunity idol on Chris Traeger in front of the jury. That completely swung the tide of the game. Ann Perkins, Donna, and Purd thought they had Crazy Ira in the douche. They had 4 votes that night. Tom Haverford sussed that out. He was able to play the idol in front of the jury, that he got all the credit for that move. It was a big spectacle in front of the jury. People remembered that.
And then, the only person to play an idol correctly this season.
Yes, and also when you get an idol played on you, it makes you look very passive in the eyes of the jury, where Tom made a huge move. The jury was not there to see how Chris Traeger was able to flip Ann Perkins around. All they saw was the vote.
That's true. So looking at these votes received, I think this might be a record, Rob. Leslie got 19 votes against her.
She's sort of the, what's that girl on David vs. Goliath that kept getting votes because everyone kept saying how
Christian was I think that person.
You're talking about Kara?
No.
Allison.
Yes.
The Dr. Allison, or I guess the Penner as well, right?
Yes.
Just getting votes.
Okay. So Leslie Knope ties Laura Moret in the single season record. Although she was only voted out once, where Laura Moret was voted out twice. So Laura Moret is the single season leader for most votes in a season against.
Wow. And
I'm not sure if that counts the votes that were nullified by the idol.
I also believe, if you scroll down, I don't think Tom had any votes against him going into that final tribal council, because I don't see him on the list right now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, actually,
which again speaks towards like his awesome game where despite him being this weasel and flip-flopping between all these sides, like no one ever went after him for it.
Yes, I'm in some advanced metrics on True Dork Time. So intended votes against is the actual stat for votes that were also nullified by the IL. Karishma had 22 votes against.
Wow.
Followed by Laura Moretz with 19. So Leslie Knope is tied for second for
Jeff Pittman, if you could please add that statistic into True Dork Times, please.
Yes. Okay. Wow. What a night. What a night here talking about all of this. Okay. Hannah, you just completed your first BrantSteele. How do you feel?
My favorite thing is when you would go, okay, to be serious for a sec, as we discuss things like Lil Sebastian's strategy. I think that's my
Fighting
favorite.
with Andy, sure.
Yeah, I think that's my favorite part of the BrantSteele is when Rob and Mike, when you get really serious about it.
We take this very seriously.
We do.
Mike
Thank you for having us.
Yes. Okay. Will, how do you feel at the end of a
how much more do you know about Survivor after this?
Yeah, I think it has doubled. So you can add that to the statistics that you were reading, Rob. You can add that Will now knows twice as much as he used to know.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, and I imagine this is what it actually feels like to compete in Survivor. Rob and Hannah, don't correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like I have a pretty good idea of what the actual experience must have been like.
It's very similar. It's very similar to all this. Okay. Of course, you could hear more from Hannah and Will on Pawnee Public Radio over at parksandrecpodcast.com. We were going to have episode number 1 is going to go up next week. Of course,
Tuesday.
You could hear Tuesday. You could hear the preview to get everything set up currently at parksandrecpodcast.com. Anything else, Hannah and Will?
Yeah, follow us on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is @Radio Pawnee. So come follow us there. We're both so excited to be podcasting.
Yeah, Derry Merbles and August Clementine's performance in this season is not reflective of Pawnee Public Radio as a brand.
Hopefully not. I was impressed with Crazy Ira and the Douche, though. They did really well. I thought they played a great game.
Had a deep run. Mike, what do you have going on these days?
Lots and lots of stuff. If you're into rewatches of dramas, in addition to your comedies of the 2000s, Josh Wigler and I are, of course, doing Down the Hatch, our Lost Rewatch podcast. Just finished season 2, so we have a pretty big feedback show out right now before we move into season 3. Of course, Rob, you, myself, and Jessica Leese are covering Tough as Nails, which just started up. Probably should have our episode 1 recap out there right now. I'm doing the Survivor B&B, which is a Survivor Fun and Games podcast we do every week. Really went off the rails this week with Liana Boris, but it was a lot of fun. And I'm doing the Top Chef podcast as always. And then one podcast we did this past week that I'm really, really happy about is Hamilton was released over the weekend on Disney Plus. And so I got to flex my musical theater muscles and get on the line with Shannon Gus, Amon Adwin, and Aaron Robertson, all big theater fans as well, to talk through the show, its adaptation to the screen, its themes, how it resonates today, especially. That was a really, really fun time. And I heavily encourage, whether you are a newbie to Hamilton, whether you're you are to Hamilton as Will is to Survivor or as Rob is to Survivor, I think you'll get a lot of enjoyment out of it. So that's on post-show recaps. And I'm sure much, much more to come at a Mike Bloom type.
Okay.
Mike, I encourage you to keep using me just as an example of someone who doesn't know anything about something.
But it's very eager to learn more, and say that something is powerful if they're put on the spot as to a moment they don't really know about.
Very powerful. Very powerful. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Hannah and Will, this was so much fun. Mike,
thank you for having us.
You've done it again. All right. We've got a lot more still to come. Make sure you're subscribed to the podcast.
This was fun. If you're still listening.
Yes. Thank you all so much for watching all this nonsense. And be sure to check out parksandrecpodcast.com for Pawnee Public Radio. Take care. Have a good one. Bye.